Clinically speaking, season 2 is coming. The Olive is about to get to season 3. So when we see what the audience likes, we push it and keep moving.
Peter said, Accelerate Plus is the only SVOD platform, the stream video on demand platform that houses African content only. I mean, if you go on Netflix, you can only watch Netflix Nigeria that has Nigerian content and some content that has been, targeted for this region. Same with Kenya and South Africa. However, on Accelerate Plus, you can be on the platform in Norway and have access to all African content. So for us, that's our unique selling point. And it's really, I haven't seen any platform that does that yet. So I wouldn't say we're a trendsetter, pacemaker. Yeah, so our tagline is watch Africa anywhere. So you can be in Iceland and you can still have access to Africa. So that's what it is.
Fantastic. Love it. Please, can we just clap for that? That's lovely. Because if you're on other platforms and you go on abroad, they'll say, oh, we noticed you're traveling abroad. And then you can't watch your favorite things. So shout out to Accelerate for that. I'm going to go to Ibrahim and Bolaji and talk about, circle back to storytelling. It's very interesting that films come out on these platforms, and when you go on social media, there's still people saying, there's a plot hole. The script is rubbish. What is this? They are only shooting in this film. Now we're talking about authentic storytelling. In your opinion, I'll start with Ibrahim. Are we getting it right? And when I mean are we getting it right, I'm talking about short form and long form. So I'm talking about feature films and TV series. Do you think we're getting it right? And if we're not, where are we missing it?
So, first of all, I think it's important to note where we're coming from and how far we have come. Criticism is always a good thing. It's difficult to take on sometimes, but long term, you can see why it helps if you pay attention. And yes, I do believe that we're getting it right. We're growing. So the pains will be there. One of the things that I'm particularly excited about is that our writing has gotten to the point where the characters on screen are starting to sound more and more like regular people on the streets. People you meet at work, people you meet when you drop off your kids, who are beginning to sound like us again. Which for a while we lost because we were starting to sound like, how you're reading from a novel and they say, the person made a beeline for the other person. How do you, communicate that? So we've stopped writing like we're writing novels and now we're writing like we're writing conversations, and you can see the difference. So there's that. I'm really excited about that because our writing is so much better now. Now, when people, I feel like, especially on social, because I spend a lot of time on Twitter, I love Twitter. I find that there is a harsher tone to the criticism that Nollywood gets on Twitter than, the rest of the woods get. And I understand it. The people who live with you at home get the most of it when it comes to bashing. So I understand why, our people feel like they should smack us more than they should tell us well done, because they know what we are capable of, and because they know that there's a tonal difference between what they see every day and what they see on screen. But that gap is narrowing, and I'm really glad about that. Then there's also the fact that good things take time. Now, thankfully, this is for anybody who is in the industry. Yeah, this is a great time to get involved. As a creative, as a money person, this is the right time to get in because it is about to go boom. Now, what I mean when I say everything good takes time, in filmmaking, people say that, oh, the budgets. We're not talking about budgets to buy, better equipment. Equipment in Nollywood is great. Our technicians are sound. But what we need to buy more of is time. You have to, and the only way you can have more time in filmmaking is to pay for it. Shoot days need to get, you need to have longer shoot days. And when I say long, I don't mean in terms of stretching from an 8 or 10 hour shoot day to an 18 hour. No, I'm talking about more shoot days. You want to make a short film and you have to do it in 24 hours. It's wild. My friends who live outside,
depending on how crazy you are.
Fair. But my friends who are not Nigerian and who are practicing, who are making film outside the country, shoot short films in like 6 days. The longest I've done to make a short film was 2.5 days, and everybody was like, "Are you people mad?"
That's essay, by the way. Essay is like, we have to rap. We have to rap.
And she says it like that. We have to rap. We have to rap. And at the end of the day, what Nollywood needs more money for is just so that Nollywood can buy more time. Pre-production. So there's something that I did recently. And by the way, I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not wearing sunglasses right now because I want to look cool. So there are two reasons. First of all, I'm short-sighted. So I need to wear glasses. Secondly, I was filming through the night. So I kind of look like a zombie. So this is reserved. And that's because we can't afford more time. So the more time we can afford, the better content we can put out, because we can now prepare better, shoot like 4 or 5 scenes a day as against 18 or 22, and then spend more time in post because you can afford that more time. So I guarantee you, the money that Accelerate TV is putting into it, the other platforms, it is great, but it will get better because the results are going to get better, and better results encourage more investment. And so I'm just like, you know what? Just give us a little more time, literally and figuratively, and we will do better. Thank you.
Fantastic. That's amazing. In short, we need more money, guys. If you have more, if you have more money, please give us. Bolaji, go ahead.
Okay, so yes, we need more time, especially with our writing. We need to ruminate. We need to research. That's another thing that when you said that about people now sounding like real human beings, like people. But one of the things I've found out with some of our stories is that some characters sound alike. Right. You start to have characters that you don't really stand out. And that's why you need more time. Because I think a script should have like 4, 5, 6, 7, you should really get into it. And also you have to understand that when you are writing, when you wrote that story and when you are filming it are two different. The timing is so different that you have to go back to research and understand that doesn't even fit into the time that you're about to, produce it. So it's very important that we have time. When you have time, Squid Game took how long? Wow. How long? That's why we need more time. Not, you need to write down, we're shooting next week. You've not really, that's not ruminate and jump. You need that. And also, the actors need more time. To prepare. You need more, if you see an actor that has researched and has stayed in that character, you would know. You would know.
So we need more time.
We need more time.
Which is ironic because our time is almost up.
Okay.
But the rest of the time we will use to take questions. I think we have about 5 minutes for that. So if you have a question, please just raise your hand and I'll have someone, get a mic. Thank you so much. Good.
I think it was very, very insightful discussion you've had. But I just want to know, for filmmakers who are here, do you license content? Because you talked about content from all over Africa, across different genres. So you have people who make travel shows, who make cooking shows, and all sorts of genres. So what is your model for Accelerate? So
for Accelerate, we have different periods during the year. So we have 4 ingestion periods during the year. The January, April, the 4 different quarters where we reach out to different distributors, filmmakers that we know, and then we look at different catalogs to see what people have. And then we usually prefer doing a 2-year non-exclusive licensing deal. So the cost varies depending on the recency of the film, when it's been made, and then the star power within the film as well, and also where the film has been.
So just to be clear, you acquire across different genres?
We acquire across all genres.
Okay.
But sometimes we have specific needs that we would let our distributors or acquirers know about.
So just one more question. How, in total, how many hours of content do you have right now?
Right now, we have over 2,700 hours, I think. Around 2,700
She
hours.
said almost 3,000.
Yeah, so we're getting closer because we're currently closing one ingestion window now, so more content is coming on. And also that brings us to like working with Essay as well, where we do co-productions. We're also currently working on franchises. So hopefully you guys will be hearing Visa on Arrival South Africa and Visa on Arrival Ghana. So we're working on those as well. So anybody that's interested in working on one of the franchises as well, just let us know.
Thank you so much.
And Off the Menu, our amazing cooking show, which we're also working on doing franchises with. Season is currently running.
Sorry, can I just ask one more question?
Please ask.
So just before this session, we had, broadcasters talking, and we're talking about collaborations. Now, is it also possible that your content can go on free to air?
So that is literally where we started. So the main thing about Accelerate TV was we started as a YouTube channel. And after a while, we realized that we had a nice, hefty catalog. We did distribution deals with Fox Life. We've done with Mnet. We've done with airlines. So Accelerate main content. We do a lot of distribution to share. We want to reach as many people as possible. Oh, and we're also dubbing. We're transcribing and dubbing our content. We're currently actually in talks with Canal Plus and some other platforms where we're going to make it in French. We're going to dub in French and subtitle in French.
Fantastic. Do we have any more questions around the room? I think we can take. Yeah. I wasn't trying to say that, but you said it.
Oh,
She said it's not
just a heads up. Next year, version 2.0 is coming, and I remember them discussing fast channels and AVOD. Yeah, we're working. We're working. So version 2.0 is coming next year, and we'll see a lot of great things for Accelerate Plus.
Let's just say everybody's salary in Accelerate is increasing. Thanks, Colette. Any other questions? We can take one more question. No other questions around the room? No? No? Okay, fantastic. Before we go, we have like 1 minute left. I think you have to tell people how to connect to Accelerate. I think some people want email. Some people are thinking, this show will work on Accelerate. How can they send emails to you?
I think the easiest one is info@acceleratetv.com. So anything you send there will be shared with the rest of us. Or if you can see our name and at acceleratetv.com. So gite.ovrai@acceleratetv.com, sa.akwawa@acceleratetv.com.
Fantastic.
Or info@acceleratetv.com, just in case.
That's a lot of emails. info@acceleratetv.com. Yeah, so please shoot all your emails to them. I'm sure they will respond. Thank you so much, Essay. Thank you so much, Bolaji. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Thanks so much, Chite, for coming. And thank you guys for clapping and listening.
Thank you so much, the Accelerate team, and we'll look forward to more from you.
Thank you.
All right, can you do the pictures now? Thank you.
Okay.
So while it's still in the mood of content, we're going back to our chief women conversations. Yesterday we had, who was it yesterday? Who did we have yesterday, chief women? Yes, who did we have yesterday? Okay. So today we're having Colette and, okay, well, Sheila we had yesterday, yes. So today we'll have Colette and then Agatha. They'll be talking about the content and entertainment and platform from the women point of view, their achievements in the industry and more. So can we please get the stage set for them, please? Thank you. one. So only Colette. Colette first, then. Table. Only two. Do you want to leave everything? Okay. Colette is first, yes. So, Toyosi. So for the first Chief Women conversation, we have Colette Otushesa, the CEO of Accelerate TV, and the moderator is Toyosi Etim-Epiang. She's the founder and CEO of That Good Media. Can they please come forward? Thank you. Colette, please. Thank you. I think Toyosi is all right. Can we please give them a hand of applause, encouragement to come on board? Thank you. Hi, Toyosi. I think I'll give you my mic. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me say it in Yoruba. Ekason. Should I try Igbo? Okay, I'll be here. Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? It's good to be here again. I was here last year. It's fantastic to be here. Thank you so much. Empress, I call her Empress. Empress IJ. Right, my timer, okay. Well, thank you so much. I mean, we just had this beautiful panel talking about all that Accelerate is doing, and we have to obviously talk to the chief woman in charge of Accelerate. Let's give her a round of applause. I'm going to read her bio now, and I love talking to Colette. You know, I really love talking to her. But every time I have opportunities like this, I like to take it that not everybody has had the opportunity to interact with you or speak with you, and so I try to ask questions that will let people get to know you and what you've done in the space. So I'll just start off reading your bio, please. Wherever you feel the need to clap, just clap. It's okay. Hello. Hi. Okay, so there's a quote here. It says, if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader. And this was said by Dolly Parton, American singer-songwriter. The above quote best describes the impact of Colette Otushesa, the CEO at Accelerate. With over 23 years of leadership in both well-established Nigerian and global organizations, Colette has successfully etched a niche for herself as an accomplished, innovative, and multi-dimensional professional. Colette is a seasoned, result-driven marketing, communications, and project management expert with a track record of championing organizational-wide initiatives within cross-functional teams. Colette has successfully led strategic planning, business planning, marketing, advertising, and diverse marketing communications campaigns in various organizations, including the Department of Trade and Industry UK, IBM, the London Borough of Lambeth, Morgan Chase Bank, Mnet Africa, and many others. During her tenure as marketing and events manager at Mnet, Colette was instrumental in the successful launch of several Africa Magic channels across Africa, as well as the marketing of Mnet's most popular shows, including Big Brother Africa, Tinsel, Niger Sings, Face of Africa, and other Mnet shows. Colette went on to lead the Viacom International Media Network Africa Nigeria office as the country lead, head of marketing, comms and operations, where she oversaw the execution and marketing of major MTV, MTV Base, Nickelodeon, and BET campaigns in Nigeria, including the biggest music awards in Africa, the MTV Africa Music Awards, MAMAs. She also saw to the successful launch and execution of award-winning MTV Sugar, which is a multi-dimensional drama campaign which educates youth on HIV, safe sex, and teen pregnancy, and MTV Meet, a show that allows young people to meet world leaders and influencers such as President Jacob Zuma, former First Lady Michelle Obama, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Aliko Dangote, Richard Branson, Russell Simmons, and more. These are testaments, thank you. These are testaments of her dynamic professionalism and leadership. She also played a key role in the success of the MTV Africa All-Stars campaign in both Nigeria and South Africa, as well as the MTV VJ Search, the BET Awards, BET Top Actor, the MTV European Music Awards, local Comedy Central activations, amongst other Viacom campaigns. In 2015, she was named one of the 15 most powerful women in Nigerian entertainment, and in 2017 was named International Women's Day one of the 10 most popular women in Nigerian entertainment. She also received an award for innovation in recognition of new thinking in digital storytelling and television programming for Accelerate at the Women in Journalism Africa Awards 2017. Colette was also, thank you, please give her a round of applause. She's like, you can stop now. I'm like, no, we'll not stop. We'll read this thing together. Colette was also named the top 50 leading women in corporate Nigeria in 2019 by Leading Ladies Africa. And in the same year, she was recognized as one of the 100 high achievers of African descent around the world in media and culture by the United Nations-backed MyPad organization. She went on to be named one of the top 100 career women in Nigeria in March 2021. And Colette has the degrees to back it up, you know. Her most recent courses include a postgraduate diploma in digital business from Columbia Business School, New York, jointly with MIT Management Institute. Also, production and filmmaking course at the New York Film Academy. And the final statement I'll make, Colette is passionate about mentoring young professionals, promoting youth empowerment, and other CSR activities. Let's give it up for Colette Otusheso, please. I mean, Colette, so reading all of this now, you have, you've worked with enviable brands, obviously, global brands, even local brands. What would you say are some similarities between all these brands you've worked with?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm not used to being put on the spot because I'm actually a very shy person, so please bear with me. Good to see you, Toyosi.
Good to see you.
She's my gym buddy, but I've been running away from her for the last 3 months.
We don't see her again.
I think the fundamental thing that brings all of them together is the passion. I think in all of the different companies, everybody's been really, really passionate. If I think about the time that I've spent in Nigeria and the different teams from Mnet down to Viacom, what is really, really important was the leadership. I had such amazing, passionate leaders that really, really wanted to change the face of Africa and, you know, the way that African content was consumed and seen more in a positive light. So I think that that is probably one of the things that I see that has brought everything together that I have done in this space.
Right, and what has the journey been like for you? You know, from, let's say, when you graduated to where you are now, what has that journey been like? And how did you end up in media and entertainment? Because you worked with the trade department in the UK, Morgan Chase Bank, a bunch of other
I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay.
So my first degree is actually in fashion design and technology because I really thought I was going to be the hottest black fashion designer in the world. And when I finished my third year, I realized that it probably wasn't the space I wanted to be in. So once I finished my degree, I had an opportunity to do some work experience. And I actually saw the lady that I did work experience with. I don't know if you guys know Ngozi. What's her surname?
Omobala.
Yes.
I know her.
So my first work experience was with Ngozi. She had a PR and marketing company in London. And I ended up working for her for a few months, and it just changed my perspective about the space I wanted to work in. So working with her, I then decided, okay, I want to be in media and comms. I then did a master's in international communication development at City University, which was very, very focused on broadcasting, the space that we're in, basically. After that, I then was a poor student trying to pay off my student loans. And I said, okay, I'm not going to work in fashion. And I tried to get jobs in the media. So my first job, I've always wanted to work for Viacom. You know, I grew up watching MTV, BT, and I really, really wanted to work for those platforms. But in the UK, you know, it's a very different space. You know, they have that one black person in rule, and that's the truth. So, you know, a lot of the times you just couldn't get jobs in those kind of places. So I thought to myself, you know what? Me, I like money, I like lifestyle, I want to travel around the world. So I actually got work in industries that wasn't necessarily my final destination, but it also helped train me to the person that I am now, because in terms of organizing yourself, you have to work in certain industries to be able to do that. So when I worked at the Department of Trade and Industry, that also really opened me up to how things should be done properly, same as IBM. When I worked for the London Borough of Lambeth in project management, it was around the regeneration of an entire borough, which was amazing because you're part of changing people's lives, you know, and what happens to where they live. But I think where it got really excited for me was having an opportunity to come into Nigeria. So again, I'm very Nigerian, born in the UK, left Nigeria at a very young age, and you know, when you're then anyway, when you're a young black person in the UK, you can't control what you consume. It was before the internet. It was before we knew what was really going on. So when you're watching stuff coming in from Africa, coming in from Nigeria, it was always really negative. You know, if it's coming in from Nigeria, people are being kidnapped, there's jazz, there's just silly things. So, yes, so one of the things that I wanted to do, even though I worked in corporate UK, I'd actually then set up my own PR and marketing company with my best friend at the time. So we did events, and then we did PR marketing. So I actually, one of my clients was an actor called Triple A, Adewale Akinyole Agbaje. So if you've ever watched Lost, G.I. Joe, you know, he's the big strapping black guy in all the movies. And he was one of my clients, and he needed to come into Nigeria for something. He couldn't make it. He said, Colette, you go. Bearing in mind, I hadn't been to Nigeria in about 20 years or something. He said, you go. And I'm like, no, they're going to rob me and kidnap me. I'm not going. It sounds so silly now as a Nigerian. But, you know, you were fed so much nonsense that you didn't know what to expect. So anyway, I came to Nigeria and I was blown away. I came to Lagos. I was supposed to have been here for 4 days. I extended. I was here for 2 weeks. After that, I said, I'm moving to Nigeria because this is home. You know, one of the things that I realized was that the perception of Nigeria was so flawed. Yeah. They made it look like we were suffering. I know that in every part of the world, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly, but all we ever saw was the ugly. So I had made up my mind and I said, I need to be part of the change that really kind of pushes a more positive narrative of our country as well as our continent. And, you know, one of the first projects I worked on in Nigeria was the This Day Awards and Concerts, where they brought in the likes of Jay-Z, Usher, Rihanna. Because again, in the UK, you don't hear that these people are coming to Nigeria. So I was blown away. And then you had international fashion designers like Oswald Boateng and all sorts of people coming in. You had Mary J. Blige, Fat Joe. And I was like, wow, I want to be a part of this bubbling entertainment industry. So I went back to London after 6 weeks in Nigeria, said to my mom, I'm moving to Nigeria. She started crying. Why? What happened? I said, no, I think that there's a great opportunity there. I just saw the opportunities. And moved to Nigeria, and I have been really, really lucky that I've worked with amazing people. So I first worked in PR for a gentleman called Dr. Henry Nzeku, who is absolutely fantastic. I think he now owns a radio station in Delta. But we did, again, government stuff, and then had the opportunity to then move on to Mnet as a marketing manager. So I worked with Biola Alabi, who is an Amazon and a champion of great things, and I learned under her. So she was she had just come in as the MD of Mnet, and she was also bringing a lot of change. She brought in, you know, change in terms of how we did stuff in production, change in just how we packaged ourselves and how we positioned ourselves. And I remember working on the first Face of Africa at Echo Hotel. We were the first people to do something at Echo Hotel, and halfway through the live show, NEPA took lights. We were in darkness. But guess what? We were able to flip it and make it look like it was part of the show. So I learned so much under her and the teams in Mnet. My direct manager was Gideon Kobeni, who's now at Amazon. And what I loved about it was the free hand to be able to do the things that you want to do. So one of the things I've always said to people is, do the jobs that you love, because then it's not like you're working. I'll work till 4 a.m. if it's something that I enjoy. And I try and impact that with my team as well. And even when I'm bringing people on board with my team, I have to know what it is, what are your passion points? What do you love? Because I would hate for you to be in my organization or in my, in my space and you hate being here. So it's really, really important that as much as possible, and if you get the opportunity, you do something that you're passionate about and you love. Do you want me to keep talking?
That's amazing. No.
I could go on.
They're very conscious of the time, but that's really amazing. And I know that there are young people here, young people who will still watch. How important is it to get experience from other places and from other organizations before you start to set up your own sort of media and entertainment? Because we want to focus on the media and the content space now. We see a lot of young people getting behind the camera, shooting, and then hoping for the best when it comes to marketing and people's acceptance. So how important is experience in the industry before starting?
It is really, really, really important. I'll give you an example. There's a young lady that started with us at Accelerate, Bolanle, because we actually, when we started, we had a lot of interns. We had interns from Pan Atlantic University, and we had interns. She was like, oh, I'm only here for 3 months. I'm setting up my own company. Okay. I remember having a conversation with her. I said, listen, Bolanle, you're new into this industry. You need to work with a platform that can open doors for you. You can start building your contacts. You can, you have a wiggle room to make mistakes before you go and set up your own company. And Bolanle, and at the time she started as an intern, ended up heading up our production, and then she left us and she set up her own company.
Was she there for 3 months or longer?
No, she ended up being with us for like 3 years.
Okay.
But from my experience, I think it's really important to learn from people that are doing it. It's important to learn from their mistakes, but also learn from their leadership. One of my mentors is Alex Okosi. He was my boss at Viacom. He literally is the person that brought MTV to Africa, BET, Nickelodeon. And he also has a really strong marketing background. And, through him, I'm able to understand the power of partnerships and collaborations. So, in a global organization where you don't have huge budgets, the way that you can make all the noise and make it look like you have those budgets is by the strategic collaborations and partnerships that you do. So I'll give you an example. When we used to do the Mamas, we would do it in South Africa. And for me, I wanted to carry all of Nigeria to South Africa with me because, it was a huge thing for us. We had the likes of global superstars coming in for the show. And we were like, how are we going to do this when we don't have the budget? We then said, who are the partners that we have around us? We ended up partnering with South African Tourism, who literally brought all our influencers, half of all our stars, half of the people that we wanted there, and then partnered with Arik at the time to bring people in. So again, strategic partnerships really, really help. And what happens is that as you go from one job to another, you take those contacts along with you. If you work well with them, you do very, very well. So yes, it's great to have that idea of I'm going to set up my business, and everybody wants to do that. It is a great thing, but if you have an opportunity to get some work experience, or even if you say I'm going to give another company a year so I can learn, I think it will really add a lot of value to your business.
I agree. Well done, Colette. So let's talk about Accelerate now. What's the vision for Accelerate? And I know GT responded to a question that I was also planning to ask, like how are you staying afloat in this very competitive space with the other streamers here? And I know that you're focused on the streamers now, all of that. But one, what's the vision for Accelerate? And then two, how are you staying afloat, and how are you staying, what's the word now? Just present in this space.
Okay, so when we set up Accelerate, we were one of those bank-owned platforms that people love or hate. Personally, for me, I think they've done a lot in the industry and they've created a lot of jobs. Accelerate was born out of Access Bank as kind of like a marketing tool. At the time, you had GT with Indani, you had UBA with Red TV, Access had Accelerate. Now, for me, what excited me about Accelerate when I was asked to come in and lead it was the possibility of what we could do with it, right? Throughout my career, I've always been very, 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 very focus on training the next generation and building platforms for them. Because when you work with a platform like Viacom, it's really hard to create local content. Right. So it was really important for us that we were able to have a platform that could create local content. And when we started, we literally it was a website and a YouTube channel with hardly anybody on there. So we had to kind of re-strategize and look at what made sense. We tried, we failed, we did a lot of things, but one of the key things that's really helped us is some of the collaborations that we did. So we were able to collaborate with filmmakers, with content creators, and start building the platform. When we started building the platform, I've always wanted a cheap TV channel. I've always wanted Accelerate on DSTV, you know. But when COVID hit, we actually looked at our strategy and we did a U-turn. We were already online. We already had a global audience. And what we saw was that this streaming place makes so much sense. So we pivoted and changed our strategy and said, you know what, let's go into the streaming space. And number one, what it does is it gives us a platform to be able to push other things outside of our own content. Our content is great, but other people's content is also great as well. And what we also wanted, what was really important for me personally, was having a platform that really showcased and celebrated the best of Africa. Right. So like Jite said, you'll not see Spider-Man, you'll not see Grey's Anatomy, you'll not see any of that on Accelerate, but what you will see on Accelerate Plus is great content coming in from African filmmakers. We're telling our own stories, and what we've always wanted to do is be that platform to help tell our stories and tell our stories globally. Right. So in terms of how we're staying afloat, I think we've been really, really lucky that we've had content that can go across, it can fly. It's been, you know, when they tell you there's money in YouTube and those places, listen, there actually is. Hey, so Jesus. Again, when you start building platforms like YouTube, there's really great ways to monetize. And then when you have a digital channel, it's very easy for you to go to a possible sponsor and say, listen, these are my numbers. This is my viewership. This is how many people are watching my content. You can't make it up. You can't guess it. So it's very easy to be able to work with sponsors to say, listen, I have 10 million eyeballs. What do you have that can reach these 10 million eyeballs? And we found that in terms of getting sponsors on board, it started really slowly, but we're getting there now. And then obviously from the Accelerate Plus side, what we've done is it is a subscription platform, but we've kept it at a really, really low price. It's like 500 Naira, which is really, now it's the price of water and maybe a meat pie or something, you know, but we've kept it really, really low. And what it does for us is that it still enables us to support Nollywood and to support filmmakers, because we are acquiring lots and lots of content. We're marketing a lot of the content, and it also gives us opportunities to look at how we can continue to collaborate with filmmakers and content creators. Right. So we've been lucky because we did get seed funding from a financial institution, from Access Bank. They've been absolutely fantastic in supporting us on what we've done. And even through Accelerate, we've been able to create so many jobs, empower so many people. And with things like our Accelerate Filmmaker Project, we're literally creating the next generation of filmmakers and content creators. We've got so many platforms for free training as well, because we don't have a New York Film School here. Yeah. We don't have any of those institutions, but we have opportunities to set up our own training so that we can be that platform that helps to bring younger people to the table and give them a platform for them to grow.
Right. And final question, because I see that time is up, or maybe penultimate question. Do you think the world is ready for African content right now?
Definitely. I'll give you a story. So my first job, like I said, in Nigeria, I worked for This Day. Yeah. There was a very famous model that came into Nigeria, and I was friends with a friend of hers. She said, please, can you take me to Lekki Market? Because I have this very famous model and all her friends, they want Nollywood. We went into, what's that Lekki Marketplace? We went to buy all the DVDs. We bought about 100 DVDs for her to take back to, this was 2008, for her to take back to New York. For all her friends from America, from Jamaica, because Jamaica, for everybody that wants to look at places that they're consuming content, they love our content in the Caribbean. Like, they absolutely love our content in the Caribbean. So the answer to your question is definitely yes, without a doubt. We showed a little clip of Visa on Arrival, which is one of our hit series, comedy show. I remember speaking to Bovie recently. He said, Colette, I was in America, and they were calling me Francis. You know, literally.
Wow.
People that are not even Nigerian would stop him and say, that show, that Visa on Arrival. Same as Timisan and some of our stars in there. So we know that people want the content. It's just for us to provide the content and feed the audience that wants our content. So definitely, this is a time for Nigeria. It's a time for Africa. Look what our music has done globally.
Yeah.
Like, at the recent MTV Music Awards, they had an Afrobeats category. That is a big thing. We spent 10 years trying to just get Nigerians on stage, Africans on stage at the BET Awards. So you can see that the thirst is there, but we just need to make sure that in terms of production and storytelling and script writing, we need to keep pushing, and raising the bar. But this is definitely the time for us as Nigerians, for us as Africans, to really, really put ourselves on the global stage.
All right. Thank you so much, Colette. Well, GT already answered the question about how emerging filmmakers can contact you. It was
info@acceleratetv.com.
TV.com. Final question, upcoming, again, emerging filmmakers, producers, all of that. What advice, upcomers like me, what advice do you have
Sorry,
for
she
me?
an upcomer.
What advice do you have for people like me who want to actually make a mark in the media space?
You know, stay focused, stay on it. There's so many accelerates. There's so many of us here. Have those conversations. There's us. There's DSTV. There's Ebony Life. There's Ink Blots. There's so many of us here. And guess what? A lot of us are waiting for that next big, show or film idea. And we'll be able to work with you to produce it, to bring it to life. So keep knocking on those doors, keep asking those questions, keep emailing, keep sending those DMs on Instagram, and keep sending and sharing your work. Social media is a fantastic way of you showing your work. And trust me, the phone calls will come. Some of the people that we've worked with, literally, we've seen their stuff on social media. We have called them in and said, come, we want to work with you. So just keep at it, and the right people will find you.
Awesome. Thank you. Colette Otushesa, everyone. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. We're done.
Thank you so much, Thursday and Colette. That was very nice, very insightful. So as you all know, it is the Chief Women Conversation. So we're speaking to a lot of females in the industry, doing big things in entertainment and content platforms. Our next speaker is, she's also in the industry doing big things, been there for a while, for a long time. So she's going to be speaking, and she'll have a moderator with her. She's no other than Agatha Amata. She's the CEO of NiFSTV, and the moderator will be Mariah Apalabi Brown. She's going to be moderating. Thank you. Can we please give them a hand of applause? Thank you.
I had questions for Colette, but it's okay. I'll send it to you privately. Oh, you didn't have questions? Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good seeing you again. We're going to go right into it because where's my timer? Okay, I have 20 minutes. All right, so we'll try to get this done. So Agatha Amata is not a stranger to many of us who's watched television in Nigeria growing up. Many of us actually watched her on television. She, Funmi Yonda, these were the people that inspired many of us to get into television, and she led her team. And now she's even CEO of Rave TV and has NGOs. So this is somebody we need to speak to and learn from, especially for the terrestrial market. I mean, I know we've been speaking a lot. Sometimes I feel that new filmmakers are kind of living in the bubble. And the reason why I say it's a bubble is because their audience are different from the real Nigerian market. They are Nigerians outside Lagos, Port Harcourt, and Abuja who need raw Nigerian content, and that's what the terrestrial platform provides. So for those of you who are not very familiar with Rave TV, let me just start with Agatha as regards why was there a need for you to start Rave TV? What market were you trying to meet? What needs did you see to try to meet at the time?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for having me. When I heard it was Mariah, I was like, okay, there's no problem. I don't even need to, this is what we've been doing. So it's nice to have you interviewing me.
Yeah.
For about 25 years, I was on TV hosting a talk show called Inside Out. A lot of people might not be able to relate to the fact that at that time there were no telephones. Let's not talk about social media. We were social media. Absolutely. Like if there was a problem, people will find a way to get to us, and we had to do a lot of the work. So when I hear a lot of what I hear now, sometimes I smile, because I'm not sure a lot of people can relate to the time when we started working. At that time, I was on about 38 television stations. I was on air when they launched intercellular phone in Nigeria. So for all of you who are used to, putting out content, and it's a totally different world now. I was on air at the time when if you wear a spaghetti strap, NTA will take you off air. You could not wear anything where your top half shows. Nobody would allow you. I need you guys to, first of all, take that in and realize that you have it good. Because I was listening to a lot of what was being said. It was a time when you took your program. In fact, I think I was one of the first people who decided that I would not pay airtime to be on air. That was a standard I set. A lot of people thought, I have a lot of my colleagues here who didn't think it would work. I have one of my first producers, Foluke, at the back there. We went through a whole lot. There were topics we did that they termed controversial, and it would not go on air. Because according to broadcast laws, you are inciting the public. Just to give a bit of background, Mariah, and why. And it was a very difficult terrain. I've had reason to be cautioned by government, cautioned by police. We have fought fights that were not ours to fight. So we have come a long way. For those of you who don't really realize that, we have really, really, really come a long way. I have never had the fortune of working for anyone. I've always worked for myself. I have a TV station now and a radio station. It has been a long journey. Inside Out for me was a school. It was an education that no classroom could have given me about Nigeria. I learned a lot. And when I decided to stop after 25 years, I just felt there was so much going on and plenty was coming up. And I just thought, I don't know anybody who hadn't been on, Mariah, you had been.
You know what even came to mind when, after 25 years on television that you did, and during NSAS, I kept telling myself, Inside Out, this was Inside Out's time, because you tried to even hand it over to the young people, right? You tried to hand over the show to a young generation, and I felt that would have been the show. That would have been the talk show where young people would have felt, you know what, this is our platform to express ourselves. But that's just an aside. I didn't want to, let's not deviate. Our focus this morning, Agatha, is Rave TV, the challenges of terrestrial television, especially in the wake of Accelerate TVs and the Netflixes and all the other stations. How are you finding it as a platform? How many platforms do you have to be on to be visible? How is revenue with you? What exactly are your challenges running a terrestrial station in today's time?
Yeah, so I needed to do a bit of background before we start to talk about now, because you have to know where you're coming from to know where you're going and what the challenge is in now. And so when I started Rave TV, it was a case of because it was essentially because of my program. I realized that people needed to have a voice. Inside Out was popular because the common man wanted to have a voice. And contrary to a lot of what has been said here, TV is never going to die. Never. In fact, DVD, let me repeat, DVD is selling in millions. all over the world, Nigerian movies till today, and it will continue to sell. And all you need to do is go to the East to find out that the market is huge. We sometimes think Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt is Nigeria. We make that mistake. There is a huge market of people. DVDs are brought in containers and they are still going. There are people, if you go outside a few of these areas, you'll find out that you can't even get service. Let's not talk data. You can't even make a call. And I think there's a need for us to remember that Nigeria is large with over 200 million people. So we haven't scratched the surface. There are young people who are aspirational, who want to do the things they see in Lagos, who want to connect with the things they see in Port Harcourt, who want to feel like they belong. That's why Rave TV was set up. For those people to be able to have the same kind of voice. So when we started, we had a large number of live programming. I found out from my TV show, which is why I started from that people just want to be able to talk. Nobody wants a screen that is looking at you and telling you what to do, especially with the new generation. They want to be able to participate. They want to be able to be part of that conversation, to air their views, to be part of that change process. It is not peculiar to any state. And that was the essence of Rave
Fantastic.
TV.
So how have you found content acquisition on your channel? So like Accelerate TV was here earlier saying that, okay, they are willing to collaborate. When you hear people like that saying, I have content, I can collaborate, what does that mean to you? Are they going to sell to you? Are you going to buy from them? Or are you going to offer your platform for free? What would you say as the appropriate collaboration methodology that you would employ in this type of situation?
So having gone through what I went through with my program, one of the first things I said for Rave was that we were not going to sell airtime, which is the same thing Greg was saying, because if you've worn those shoes, you know how stifling it is for any young producer to have to produce and then come and pay you. I think it's an aberration.
How do you make money?
So Nigeria teaches you a lesson. You have very big, good dreams, then Nigeria humbles you. That's the truth. So unlike Colette and a lot of people I've heard who have had backing, some of us have roughed this thing by ourselves. When I started Rave, I had a budget. I don't even want to mention the millions I spent on commissioning content. I didn't get 3% of it back. I lost a lot of money. I have a digital license. It will be very cumbersome to start to explain to a lot of people here but I have a national digital license. I was talking to the DG of NBC, which meant that Rave TV, if we had gone digital, it's supposed to be showing like NTA is showing or any one of the others. 8 years after, we haven't digitized. Nigeria happens to you.
Yep.
So you have all these plans that you've made, and you've made all these projections, hoping that the country is one where people do what they say, they do their job, and you can plan, and then Nigeria teaches you a lesson.
I feel that pain, because I just asked the DG, are we going to digitize? Because we all kind of planned around
that. He was telling you that I don't believe him, because that was the first thing he said.
Because we all planned around that digitization. How many of you were here
before.
when we were all screaming digitization? Okay, maybe I'm talking to the wrong crowd. But I mean, we're all there expecting and everything was based on that. Anyway, so let's come back to, what is your own ask? As a terrestrial TV. I mean, I know you're also on GoTV, you're on terrestrial TV. What is that thing you need? Because the international formats where as a terrestrial owner, you can commission. You have the funding to commission. Would you say funding is your problem, or your inability to get content that meets your target audience? What exactly would be your own ask if you had the opportunity, just in case there's somebody here that can actually work with you, wants to work with you?
Funding is the biggest problem for anyone. So especially for people like us who do not have that backing. I have been having to do, I mean, Charles is here, so he knows what I'm saying, for the people who are in my shoes. So the biggest challenge you have is funding. Charles was saying to me, he wishes he can just find somebody who just give him 200 million. I said, take this 200 million and go away for a year and give me 10% that he's willing to do it. And I said, when you find him, introduce him to me. Funding is a problem. Advertising revenues are not commensurate with our population, and there's no structure. I think essentially everything comes down to government. There's no structure, there's no leadership. South Africa, that doesn't have our numbers, has bigger advertising budgets because they have figures. You can measure the audience. So I keep saying it, we keep concentrating on the big towns. There's an audience out there that there's no record of, there's no data for, there's nothing. So there's a need. If we're going to compete globally, we have to be able to show our numbers. We keep saying we're over 200 million people. The budgets don't show that we're over 200 million.
Exactly. You've gone somewhere I've always had, and that was one of the questions I wanted to ask Colette before she left, because when we produce content, like, we have both local and international viewers. They're all watching us from across the world. But there's a huge market in Nigeria that we can't even measure. We don't even know where they are. How are we reaching them? How can you, because you are terrestrial, you're reaching them, but you can't even measure how many of them are watching. Because how do we produce content to meet their own needs? And how do we know that the content that we have on all these other platforms, Netflixes and all this, is meeting their own needs? Are we connecting with those people? Does anybody even know what that audience is looking for? And I'm just thinking aloud right now, but, but I'm just worried about the future of content. And you have tried to, let's move into your show right now. You have tried to move Inside Out to a younger generation. How was that? And what was your objective? And how has it been so far? Is it still ongoing, or has it stopped? Inside Out.
Okay, so one of the lessons I learned when I had a show, The Search, where we're looking for a new face for the program. It was very successful. It was good, and we got someone. And I realized very quickly that if a person doesn't share your vision, even if they're good, it can't last. So I decided to rest it for my own peace of mind, because you don't go and buy stress and bring it to yourself. But one of the things that I have learned over time is that there's potential. I was looking at the visa on arrival now, and I thought, this is so simple, yet so symbolic. Everybody can identify with that. It's just one room. And in fact, I was just saying, I'm going to go look for it. You know, just from everything you showed, that's the only one that caught my attention. And I still remembered the title. Because as soon as I saw visa on arrival, for anybody who has ever traveled, that has to hold your attention. It's authentically Nigerian. And every day, as I go about, I just realize we have so many stories that we haven't even told. And when I say that, it's not just movies. The series is an example. There's a lot of TV content that we can produce that is authentically Nigerian, that we haven't even started to look at. Not even just things that happen to us every day within urban Nigeria. There's rural Nigeria. There's stories there. So many things. And I think that we need to start to leave these areas. We are overflogging stories when there are many that are out there.
Right.
That we need to start to encourage those out there to bring their stories to the fore, because there are plenty of them.
Okay, so we have about 5 minutes left. I want to focus on the future. Rave TV, there are quite a number of other stations. I work for TVC, and there's a terrestrial arm, TVC Entertainment. There are quite a few others also. What do you think, especially when we have young people doing content, everybody wants to bring their programs to you, how inundated are you with requests of, I want to put my stuff on air? How is that? What are you producing also? What do you plan? How do you plan to populate Rave TV going forward in view of all the content that's available?
So it's essentially like if the program meets our target audience, which is young people, and it's interactive, definitely. I've never, like I said, airtime for me, yes, that's what we have to sell. But I also believe that if we have good content, then we can attract the advertising.
Let me rephrase my question. Maybe I'm not sure if I even got the
okay.
question right. Are you making money? Let me put it in a simple ways. Because I'm asking this question because many of us are going online because YouTube will pay you in dollars. You know, so if I have content, I'd rather post it online or I'd rather give it to sell it to accelerate.
Let me answer your question. The answer is no. And until we go digital, until we can have audience measurement, until we start to put things in place, until they don't regulate us, until they kill us. Because it is not a level playing field. I can tell you that even for something as simple as visa on arrival, if you had it on Nigerian TV, there is one thing that Bovi will say, they will shut it down. No matter how interesting it is. So it makes TV boring. You want to show a home video, you have to edit almost half of it out before you can put it on TV. So until there is a level playing field, until there's freedom of speech and expression, until they stop telling you that if you want to show this in the north, you have to cover your face and wear a hijab because you're on Nigerian TV. Until they stop doing all those things, we cannot compete. It's that simple. We're just wasting,
so we can't compete with the Accelerate TVs. We can't compete. Sorry, even are you for here? Sorry, sorry. I'm so sorry. Because you are here now, you're fine facing my front. Of course.
Let me say this. I feel sorry for those people outside in areas where, people don't realize that the power of media is, we can change a narrative using media. Media is so powerful that it can drive change and economic growth. What the government is struggling to do, they can achieve it if they. Sorry, I'm going to digress a bit. I went to Amsterdam. Wow, it was a very long time ago, but they took us on this trip to tell us why they tell our story. So they played about 3 for us. One of them was to encourage young men to talk about condom. And the boy enters a supermarket, he goes to the condom section, he picks a condom, and he's hiding it. As he gets to the queue to pay, there are like 4 old women in front of him. So he's hiding it. There are 2 behind him, 2 in front of him. The 2 pay. When it's his turn, he looks behind. He sees 2 older women. He doesn't want them to know he came there to buy a condom. So he tells them they can come ahead of him. And they said, no, you go ahead, young man. Doesn't look like you have a lot. I've got a big trolley. He says, no, ma'am, you go. And he allows one person go, the next person go. And then when all the 4 women had gone, he now pushes the condom to the corner for the, the lady at the counter to pay. And then the lady now calls one of her colleagues, how much is this, please? How much do they sell this? And the boy just wants to die. And he's looking at all those women he's so embarrassed. And the woman says, oh, that's a good brand. I use it too. So what they were trying to say is everybody uses condoms. It's not because you're young that you have no reason to be ashamed. And when we went to the classrooms to talk to the young ladies, it was the same narrative that had been pushed by media that they were all showing. There's a huge community out there that needs to be reached. And NBC and the government needs to understand this. All the ills they are trying to combat, all the things they are trying to do, they will reach it faster if they collaborated with the media.
Fantastic. I think we can end with that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Please give Agatha Amata a round of applause.
Thank you.
So I think I can take 2 questions. And questions for Colette too. So my question for Colette was, please come forward. I was going to ask you, what does collaboration mean with you? I mean, are you paying people for their content? Are you sharing advertisement revenue? What does collaboration mean exactly to Accelerate? That was my question to you.
Okay, so so when we first started, we looked at different ways to make sure that everybody gets paid, because at the end of the day, that's outside of passions. That's why we're all here. So when we first started, we looked at the revenue model where we bring, you bring, but a lot of the time that doesn't work because you'll find that one side probably has more than the other. So what we found that works is that we're doing a lot of commissioning. With our young filmmakers, what we did was like our filmmaker project, Accelerate swallowed all those costs because we have an in-house production team, we have the equipment and so on. So all of that we swallowed. We even took some of the filmmakers to film festivals around the world. We swallowed that as well because for us, it's important that we do these things. When they won the AMVCA twice, they kept the award because it's their content. But what we've also been able to then do is the same young filmmakers that we trained, we will then, we've now brought them in to create content for us and it's paid. So we'll say, okay, we need a slate of, let's say, 10 one-hour films. This is the budget that we have. There you go. And there's times where we'll even swallow up the production costs and say, okay, we will still give you our production team. So again, for us, collaboration is also knowing that you're in a position to help and to grow. And we do that a lot. But what has worked is, so something like Visa on Arrival, that's a commission. Bovi came in, had the great idea, and we sat down and said, how is this going to work? We all came into the table and said, okay, we could do this, do this, do this. And that's a commission. But yeah, there's a lot of projects, like Temi B said, clinically speaking, it's her story. She's the same lady that created Skinny Girl in Transit. Right. She came to us with the idea. The first time she came to us with the idea was for her first series, First Time Mom. And we tried to make it happen. For some reason, we just couldn't. But half the guys in there are my staff. They're like my team. They all worked on it. But we now said we must do something else. And when she came with the script of Clinically Speaking, for us it was our own Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. Very Nigerian, with our Nigerian nuances and what happens in hospitals and so on. And it has a comedy element to it. And it worked. So that one is that's a commission. So she's commissioned. She's a producer on it. There's so many commissions that we do like that. Like Shade Corner, Aka Nani came up with the idea. Obviously, didn't have the opportunity. He couldn't bring it to life, so we commissioned it. We created it in house. He's the producer on it. He's been on it since season 1. We launched season 6 yesterday, and he's still part of the show. So we will carry you along because we're partners.
Nice. Any questions? And take maybe 1 or 2 from the audience, and we're done. For any one of our guests. None? Okay. Well done. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you so very much. You can give me a round of applause too, especially.
Thank you. Thank you, Mariah. Thank you, everyone. Sorry. Sorry. No, but it didn't. It's actually strong, so nothing happened. Okay. So 3 things I'll say I'll take away from this are authentic stories, controlling our narratives, and thirdly, what's the third one now? Controlling our narrative. What's the third one that Agatha said? Who can remember? Who can remember? Anybody? Okay, so talking about authentic African stories will lead us to our next session. Again, I'll say the crowd, the population we have is enough for different opportunities in Nigeria, be it for streamers, for YouTube, for content, for pay TV. The opportunity is enormous. So the next panel, it's actually very dear to my heart because the people unveiling are my people. My company where I work, so I have my boss here. So if you guys would indulge me by giving him a very, very sound hand of applause, please. Can we please have Murphy now on stage? Thank you. Murphy on top. So some members of our team would also be talking with him. I think I have Phoenix. Please, a hand of applause for them. Tamara, you here? Where's Tamara? Tamara, please come forward. Where's she? Oh, okay. Sorry, my love. Tamara here, please. Okay, and then Kingsley. Kingsley, are you here? Where is it? Okay, so this is going to be a bit conversational because, as I said, these are my people. This is where I work. And so this is my boss and all my colleagues. So I would also be leading a conversation, but in a conversational way, because I will have to chip in one or two things from time to time. So if you pardon me, I'll take a sip or I will start. Can you please give me a hand of applause? Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Long time no see. So I think before I start, I'll try to introduce my boss, if you pardon me. So, Mofia, okay. So Mofia Nawana is he's the CEO of Mofiben International. Mofiben International is the mother company of about 7 subsidiaries: Forever TV, Forever Dubbing, Forever YouTube. Our newest baby, like a year ago, Vibes FM. And then we'll have a Forever Network, and then we'll have a Forever, well, relicensing. But the main one we're talking about today is our streaming platform, Revo Plus. So from the name of Forever, we got about Revo Plus. So everything is in for the platform to go live, but we needed to also do an unveil first. So I will start by speaking to my boss, by him telling us about Forever, the brand. You know, so this is like about, in Nigeria, I think this is like about a few companies that have about 7 arms, all about media, all about entertainment, empowering over 250 staff members with staff in Nigeria and outside of Nigeria. We do big things, but we're kind of quiet about it, but that is about to change very soon. So over to my boss, Mafi and Nawana. Can you please tell us about our Forever, birthing the company, and then how Revo Plus came to be? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chinwe. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, you know, a few years ago, I was watching CNN, and I think that was when Clinton came to Nigeria. When he was about to be interviewed, he was not interviewed in Abuja. They flew him to a dusty area in Abuja, and he sat down with our president. Then it became obvious to me that there's a narrative being pushed about Africa. Then I started watching the CNN with a third eye. I noticed that it was persistent. Anytime you want to show an African, you know, there has to be a very big fly perching in their faces and their mouth, such that sometimes I wonder, don't they even have hand to, you know. Then one day I was in the US and the taxi driver asked me, "You are from Africa?" I said, "Yes." Then, you know, he asked me, "Do you people see lions on your street?" I said, "No. For you to see a lion, you have to go to the zoo." He said, "Wait a minute. This is the same answer that everybody from Africa that has been carrying, you know, tells him." It got me thinking again. Then I said to myself that, you know, we have to be a voice for our people. And that was how the name Afrevo came to be. You may not know it, but Afrevo stands for Africa Online Revolution. So for us, it was to be, you know, a kind of a revolution, not the kind of revolution where you get on there fighting. No, just a revolution with love, but just to show our people. I remember when we started doing, you know, monetizing movies on YouTube. I had some, you know, somebody from the Caribbean, I think from Jamaica, write and said, "Wait a minute, this movie you're watching, is this Africa?" No, then I used to be a channel manager as well. I said, "Yes, this is Africa." And to myself, that was, for me, the first time, you know, I could tell that I was already having a direct influence on how people see Africa. And then I would be very personal. The next time when I want to chat, the lady, I'll call her by her name. Some of them became so interested. Some of them weren't at that point watching our movies because they felt that they were interesting. Of course, they were very interesting. But for most of them, it was a thing of pride, to refer to their friends to the movies they were watching. Look at Africa, look at Africa. When we started, it was a humble beginning with just one laptop. And I remember we didn't have any investors, just like the people before us, were mentioning. Sometimes, for you to succeed, you have to look for a higher purpose, because that is when you keep going, even when it's very tough. Because what is, moving you is beyond Naira and Kobo. Now, as we speak today, at some point, we are doing over 500 million views monthly on YouTube. And it's huge. I say 500 million views, and that is when it is, when we're talking movies, average view duration for that 500 million views will be something about 30 minutes. Average. So, to put into context, if it was a musical video that is averagely 3 minutes, that would amount to 5 billion views monthly. You also opened our eyes to know that a lot of people love our content. From there, we also, moved to other areas. If you read our mission statement, you see that we want to also bring, these contents to people in the languages that they love most. So we started creating, dubbing studios. As of today, we have the largest number of dubbing studios in the whole of Africa, over 80 dubbing studios in different countries, including Nigeria here, Cameroon, Congo DRC, Senegal. We also dub in Ethiopia and all whatnot. I'll also have a joint venture somewhere in France. Then from there, of course, we're also doing TV. We're also doing, our latest is Vibes FM, which is also doing very well in Lagos now. But in our interacting with these, because what we do is, we get movies from these content creators, and we try to monetize it for them on YouTube. That was how we started. That's our main business. We also noticed that at some point that there was this big challenge for them, because we didn't have enough distribution outlets in Nigeria. So normally we talk about, for some of them, they go to cinemas, and of course our cinemas have very few screens. For some of them, at the onset, they were even proud, or they weren't confident enough to bring their contents to YouTube. Anyways, we noticed that there is this lacks when it comes to content distribution. We looked at it and we said, okay, that I think it's also time that we also brought some values to the content creator, and also brought some values to the viewers. Because we know that contents on YouTube, they have a certain category. But for us to launch this platform, I think we have also need to up the game. So we came together and we said, okay, we're going to work on a streaming platform. The platform, we named it Revo Plus. Revo Plus is a short form of Aforevo. Then the plus is to show that it's, an upgraded version of Aforevo. And other things we also thought about is also to up the value for the viewers as well, such that we will bring the kind of productions that they've been yearning for. One of the things that we also noticed was that the cinemas were dictating the actors to be on their films. The big streamers are also dictating that. Whereas we also know that because we deal on YouTube and because we have access to the back end, we could tell that these guys are not seeing all the pictures that they need to see. So for us, again, we also want to open it up for creators to be able to be creative the way they want to be, because we know fully well that the content that they have in mind to create has a place, and we have people that are ready to consume them. So these and a bit more are the things that we looked at, and we said, okay, I think it's time that we birth River Plus to bring these values to our people. But most importantly, and for us, for River Plus, is also to spread the word of love amongst us using creatives. Because quite recently, for me, I will always say that the biggest problem Nigeria has is tribalism, not corruption. Corruption is number 2. And I've also looked at ways, some of us look at each other with hate. And for us, it's a no-no, because we know that individually we have, good people everywhere. I'm an Igbo man. I remember when I was very, very down, there was a Yoruba person that helped me. Some 3-4 years back, one of my managers was arrested because of a content issue, flown down to Kano. And, they were about to imprison him. He didn't know anybody in Kano. For some reason, I asked somebody to give me, but before that, let it not be that it was him that influenced it. For some reason, he got in touch with some people in the movie industry in Kano. And they all started calling themselves, they rallied around him. And for me, it was an eye-opener, because whereas some people may have some kind of, thinking about the people in Kano, it was an eye-opener for me, because when you deal with individuals, you notice that the picture that is being painted is completely wrong. They rallied around a stranger they never knew, and I was surprised. Also, I remember I got, what's the name of this actor, big actor in the north, Nuhu Ribadu's number. He didn't know who I was. I just called him. I didn't introduce myself as anybody. I just said, listen, I have somebody there. He said, I said, where are you calling from? I said, I'm calling from Lagos. He said, don't worry. He picked up his phone and started calling other people. So for us, River Plus is a lot of things for us to project Africa and, to bring us together through creative content. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So I think the third thing Agatha said that I was thinking about is the power of media. So it just goes figuratively and ritually. So it's not just about, okay, the power of media in terms of telling the news, and they're coming together. So I am also concerned about the kind of content. I don't know, you also concerned about the kind of content, which is the number one thing producers will want to know. So I will push that question to Phoenix in terms of production. So what kind of content are we looking at? So I'll say a lot of the past speakers have spoken a lot about their content and strategy and all that. So content is king, is a crude oil, everything. But what is the plan for Rebel Plus, content-wise?
Thank you, Chue. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Phoenix. I'm an actor and a producer for Rebel Plus. In terms of content, I would say Rebel is looking for original stories. Everyone has said this here before. We want authentic stories. We want to tell stories about Africa. Just like everyone before me said, I schooled in Ohio, and I remember I got a lot of these questions too. People would ask me, do you live in a hut? Have you ever seen a giraffe? And I just realized that all these things were coming from what they saw, the contents that were coming out of Africa, and people just have the wrong impression of us. So first of all, for Rebel Plus, we want to tell authentic African stories. So we have YouTube, which is where we accept every kind of content. Trust me, just make it. For Rebel YouTube, we'll find a home and an audience for you. But with Rebel Plus, we want, bigger and better production value. I always tell my producers, I'm looking for adrenaline. I need it to be interesting. I need it to move me. I mean, we all saw Jagun. I don't know anyone who didn't have goosebumps watching that. And for me, that is just the kind of story that I want, because it was telling our story in our language. There's something about Africa that we lost. I don't know when, but I feel like we also don't have a sense of identity. And I remember during a panel, a session like this, a lady had said that when you lose your language, you lose a part of your identity. So it's also very important for us to, in as much as we're exporting our stories, we need to export our language too. I mean, a lot of us know what merci means. I used to watch this Spanish series and I started picking up things from there. And I'm wondering, why don't white people know what wazobia is? Why are they not picking things from our language? Okay, they picked something, but I can't mention it because, because I heard it's now in the dictionary. Yeah, but we have so much. We have our stories, we have our myths, we have our legends, and we're not telling these stories. This is what Revel Plus is looking for: authentic, original, and relatable.
Thank you very much, Phoenix. So you guys have heard this over and over and over again, so there has to be something right about it. There has to be something we need to do as producers. For anything about content, how you want to work with us in terms of commissioning, acquisition, we're all open to that, and that's why the team and everybody's here. So if you want to talk more about acquisition and commissioning and production, you can speak to Phoenix. I think she's here. And we're also having a cocktail later today. Please don't miss it. It's going to be like no other. So towards the end of this whole session, everything about today will be meeting upstairs. So back to Revel Plus. So one thing about Revel Plus, I'd also want to say it's in terms of the structure. So it's subscription, yes. There's also the linear channels part of it. So because again, we're the media people, we're content people, we have our YouTube backend to give us data and statistics to work with. So we've done a whole lot of work. So you'd ask, okay, why is it different? So because of the data and all the things we found. So I'll say the more the merrier. There's unending opportunity for content for platforms in Nigeria. So it's not only a question of competition. It's not a question of, oh, this. No, I think for every platform who even comes, there's something for them. Find your niche. So on that, I was speaking to Tamara on content for linear channels. So right now, for the sake of the crowd, I don't know how many linear channels we're working on, and if producers want to work with you on the linear channels, what do they do, and what should we expect with the linear channels? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tamara, and I am head of TV productions for the linear channel, actually. I'm looking to work with really, really good people. I think from social media, we've seen a lot of content creators that are amazing, like really amazing, insightful, and now we're in the era of podcasts. If I have one more podcast come out of I would literally faint. But some of them really have good content. So for me, I want to work with the talented ones that are not on camera saying action, right? You're not an actor, that's fine. Do you have good ideas? Do you have good stories you want to tell? Can you hold a conversation about things that really matter? Whether it's politics, whether it's just entertainment, whether it's fashion, are you knowledgeable? And then hit us up. We have our emails open, we have phone numbers, like reach out to us, send an email, send a draft. If you have an idea and you're not even able to carry it yourself, send a pitch deck. Let's read these. I want to work with people who are interested in using media to make the industry better. Make us look good. Because right now, when I think Revel, I honestly think, people say this a lot, Afrobeats to the world. I want Team Nollywood to the world. And this is the team that is getting us there. I say it with my full chest, taking it like that, right? So yes, I'm excited to work with creators. I'm excited to work with people who, because there are idea people and then there are people who execute them. So whichever one you are, just reach out to us and let's make something happen. Let's make magic happen.
All right, thank you so much. So we're just going to be quick because of time. So, but before then, I'll talk to Kingsley about the digital plan. So I think that you're the master in that. Can you just put us through what your plans are and what people should expect from the angle?
All right, good afternoon. My name is Kingsley. I manage marketing, digital marketing as it stands. Okay, so the platform basically is looking to enhance African content. So, we have to look for creative ways to, number one, sell this content, and number two, make producers like some of us who are looking at me with strong faces. It's a way to tell you that these things are necessary for you, and putting out your content is one way that we know that would help you grow. Now, from Phoenix, who is in charge of production, to Tamara, who is sifting out the content, myself, who is distributing to the final audience who you are interested in reaching out to. Now, each of these contents that we are putting out, from the different genres to to the things that are just an idea, okay, we put everything together to ensure good digital communication. Now, we from the point of production to the point of consumption, okay, it's all about creativity. All about creativity and then selling your content from start to finish. So managing the digital platforms where Revel Plus will be operating is dynamic, okay? We will look out for us on social media and a couple of our platforms where we'll be putting out a couple content. You would see that some of the things that we'll be talking about will be engaging to really pass out the African content mindset, and then ensuring that every content on the platform it's unique and then it's sold in the exact way that it is unique.
Thank you so much, Kingsley. So, Murphy, do you want to say one more thing before we sign out?
Okay, let's talk a bit about money. You know, the first time, I talked about the philosophy behind it. Why I started with that first is because we may not realize it, but that is where the real value is. But let's talk money. Our intention is to, make a lot of money for, creators like some of you. We believe that on the platform, we'll be able to make as much as even ₦1 billion, 500 million for some of our creators, 50 million, 100 million, depending. This is because our marketing is huge. So when you have as much eyeballs as we have, it's easier for us to push this contents out there. We're looking at some of the contents you'll be producing when they're leaving the cinemas, you bring it to us before you take it to Netflix. This is because we have a TVOD arm of it. So TVOD means you can also sell those contents there. And the normal, way of things, it should come to a TVOD before it goes to an SVOD. So Netflix is an SVOD, it comes to us first. If we're able to make more money for you, I'm sure you also want to bring it to us because it's all about making money. That's one. We also have the SVOD part of things, where we can also pay you to have the content on our platform, or you could also make money off the content as people view them. We also have the AVOD part of it. AVOD is, where we put the people who consume these contents and adverts play. So it's a 360 approach to content monetization. And, we don't like making too much noise, but we believe that we'll be one of those platforms where we'll make the most money of any other platforms. I know what we've done on YouTube, and I've known our contribution to creators using our YouTube platforms all over Africa. Because as we speak, we deal with over 4,000 movie producers all over Africa. And we pay I don't want to mention how much we pay, because I think there may be tax people here. all right, then. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say here is that look at us as that and support us, please. Because one other thing that I notice is that Africans don't like supporting Africans. They'd rather they'd rather deal with somebody else. But with our proven track record, we've made a very huge statement from a very, very humble beginning, and we're here to assure you that with your support, all of us will see a better future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Murphy. So the other part I know you guys are going to be wondering about is the content acquisition side. That is me here for you. So if you have your content and you're interested in having on Vero Plus or as a content, 2 years non-exclusive as usual, or whatever deal you feel you have in mind, please meet me. You can meet me here anytime, any day. And then don't forget to join us later on for our rooftop cocktail if you have the badge. So on that note, it's been fun speaking to you guys. And then if you have any questions after this, please see any of our Revo teams. You see them wearing the T-shirts. You can speak to them. Thank you so much, everyone, for this. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for the picture time, Murphy. So I'm actually going to be in this picture for the first time.
Thank you very much. Once again, a round of applause for the Afro Revo team. Put your hands together. And Chinwe, So while we were busy talking and shouting about $1.4 million, you are already in the 5 billion realm, doing big things quietly. All right, I think. Yeah. Okay, so we're already 11 minutes behind schedule for lunch. Yeah. So
if you have today's ticket, it would have today's date. If you have yesterday's date, it wouldn't work. So please check your tickets and make sure it has today's date. If it's not today's date, it won't work.
yeah, so yesterday's price is not today's price. That means that yesterday's ticket is not today's ticket. So for clarity, today is what? 25th. So check your ticket. If you have 20, my brother, just go buy cabin biscuits outside. You have 24. You have 24 in your hand. Just quietly go somewhere else. So check your dates, and we will be back for the next phase. Lunch closes at the restaurant officially at 3 p.m. So at 3 p.m. So let's go get it fast, and please don't eat something heavy so that you can come back and still fully participate. Yesterday, some of you ate seafood okra and you were sleeping here while we were having serious conversations. So enjoy your lunch and see you at 3 p.m. The heartbreak you will receive, you will not believe it.
No, don't mind him. You're a very nice person. Don't even let him, don't take him seriously.
Affirmation.
Take him with a pinch of salt.
Nah, don't pinch me. Hold me. All right, what are we doing?
B, are we ready? Because I'm not sure I'm ready to do this with this guy. Are we ready? Just a minute.
Just a minute.
I think I'll let him I'm not a comedian.
I'm not am I cracking joke? I'm just,
sorry, guys. Is he not cracking jokes?
The room
Is he not cracking jokes?
The room just
Okay,
looks
wait. Are you guys enjoying it? Let me even start with that.
Do they have a choice?
Wait. So two things. Do you want him to go? Do you want him to go? Or you want him to continue while we wait for them?
Stay here with me.
No, me, I'm not staying because I can't keep up, man.
I need to corrupt you. Stay here.
Corruptor. I beg, don't corrupt me. It's feminine. You start this thing, oh. It was a simple Yoruba that started this whole wahala.
But you were speaking Igbo.
Yes, Igbo. I'm Igbo. Probably Igbo.
Yeah, speak Igbo, let me hear.
Only Icho comes so.
You see, that's the beautiful thing I like about Igbo people. Once they switch instantly. Like they go, how are you doing?
No, leave English.
Here, not here. Like, were you not even in it just now?
Us again.
Exactly.
No, so guys, my Igbo in my WAEC is actually A1.
Confirm.
So no caps. I'm A1, so I read and I write Igbo.
Wow.
Can you guys just clap for me?
Clap for this girl, man. Wow.
So leave the English part. I studied English language. That's the whole thing.
With Igbo A1.
Yeah, that. No. So I also like it.
That means if you had biology A1, you would have been native doctor too. Because if you do biology, agric science, and Igbo A, you just do first choice native medicine.
So for
depth of knowledge, her wealth and intellect is something it's something for the books. And like I said yesterday, her company has micro in it, and I've already contacted CAC. Please change the name of that. If she will not change it, CAC will change it for her from micro to massive or mega or something. Anyway, our conversation is on TV broadcasters, content acquisitions, the workshop, and we'll be focused on meeting quality content and programming needs in a digital era. Don't forget, we've been talking about pivoting to the digital era which we're in now. Is what's next for food content, how Nigerian food can inspire innovation and creativity in mainstream media content. And real quick, I'm going to be bringing the panelists up. First on the list is Chef Mohammed Baydon. I hope I got that right. Did I get it right? Chef, okay, Chef Mohammed Bidon. Is he here? Okay. We have Femi Ogundoro, founder of Food Bay TV. Please, a round of applause. Please come to the stage. And of course, Nigeria's biggest food critic, Opeyemi Famaki. Please, I don't know why I keep imitating his voice. A round of applause for Opeyemi Famaki. Anyway, there. In the middle, I guess. The end. Oh, yeah, that's fine. And up next, food and wine. Yeah. Gina Ehikodi. Hello? Gina Ehikodi Ojo, MD, Foodies and Spices. Oh, Gina. Okay, Foodies and Spice, right? Thank you. And of course, Winifred Emmanuel, Chef and CEO, Zilicious Food. She's not around? Okay, so we have only Gina, Femi, and Opeyemi, and moderating the session, once again, our founder and convener, Ijoma. So I think you can use the seat over there. Please, a round of applause for Ijoma once again. Is there an extra mic for Ijoma, or I should give her mine? All right, fantastic. Let's go.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everyone. And so nice to have you back again. Femi shook some tables this morning. Yes, and it was very, very engaging because we've been talking TV all day. And it's very interesting for us to also witness. I followed her trajectory, her journey, and it's very interesting. I remember she told me about last month, how many people you employ? How many?
For now, I have about 11 I pay monthly. Then whenever I have bigger productions, of course, we have more hands. And you were asking how we have monetized.
Yes.
Apart from being on 15 TV channels across Nigeria and being online, I also do festivals. So every year I do the Foodaholic Festival on mainland Lagos, and that is another way we get to monetize, like bringing food to the mainstream. Now, media, it's not just TV or online. It's the billboards, it's what people see. It's the festivals. So when I caught for the festival and I have about 2,000 to 3,000 people walking into the festival, that they are able to see food from various vendors, they are able to see brands, they are able to see me. Some of them are there to see me. So those are like the various ways we monetize. But just to start recounting, TV. When I started this journey 10 years ago, I honestly did not understand where I was going with it. I just knew I wanted to be on TV and cook on TV. Cooking on TV felt like an easier production than doing movies and series like Femi. So it's going to cost me a bit less. So that was why I delved into food. I did not understand where I was going with it. I just loved the fact that I would be on screen like every week. But money needs to be made. And all of a sudden, I got my first brand within the first 3 quarters of being on TV, and I couldn't even negotiate properly because I do not even understand it that much. So, but from there till now, I will say I have never run a quarter without a sponsorship. Okay, and I have moved from being on 1 TV station to 15. I'm on African Magic Family, I'm on AIT, I'm on STV, I'm on TVC, I'm on like every major TV station, and I have never run a quarter without ship, and I have never gone a week without putting a new show or a new episode on TV. So unlike
that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. So before when I started, I was counting seasons, season 1, season 2, but right now I don't even know what season I'm on. To be honest, I don't know what season I'm on because I have to shoot every week. And that's because there's a sponsorship, you have to integrate their product, you have to show them. So, but when we started, social media wasn't the way it was now. So I wasn't really pushing on social media that much. I was just probably just put it on there and say, okay guys, go and watch on TV. So, but later I understood the way social media was going. So I had to quickly jump on there. And unlike TV, where I have to just do the job once a week, social media, you have to do the job like every hour. You are just online all the time. It's so exhausting, it takes a lot. Sometimes you really don't even know what to tell them. I come and start showing them my cloth and shoe sometimes. Yeah, so you have to just be on there. So, but the good thing is, it kind of opens up another stream of income, because they now call you an influencer. I honestly still do not understand what that means completely, but well, they tell me to tell you something, I tell you and you do it, so that's what we do on social media. So, but as it is, I have about 1.7 million followers on Facebook at the moment. Instagram, I don't know what I did to them. Yeah, so, but Okpeyemi, them, they are the big guys on Instagram, but I have about 281,000. TikTok, I love that. I love TikTok. So it doesn't really have to, you don't have to have so many followers on TikTok, okay? Just do something they like and they can help you blow it up to like 1 million views. And you're like, okay, where did all of you see this from? So those are like the stream of incomes and of course the festival.
Thank you. It's very interesting. So I remember those days that Gina used to do WhatsApp blast. You don't do it anymore. Yes, and I'm like, why should we send you stuff on WhatsApp? Now, today she's an influencer, so there's always a starting point. And like she said, when she even started, she didn't even understand what she was doing. And somebody like me too, I didn't understand what she's doing. But right now she's monetizing, she's making money, she's shooting an episode every single week because she's got brands who have bought into what she's doing. Isn't that amazing? Please, let's put our hands together for her. Well done. Okay, thank you for joining us again. It would just be good to have a sense of everything that you do across Nigeria and across the continent. Yes.
Hello, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, what I do, I like to call it journalism because I studied journalism in university, and I was trained to write for newspapers and magazines. And I worked at Pulse.ng. That was my first job. I used to write about lifestyle, and I wrote a lot about food. And what I'm doing now, it's like evolved journalism because people don't like to read as much. When I began on Instagram, I used to take a picture and write long epistles. I put continued in the caption. That was where I started, and things evolved and algorithm changed, and now I do videos, and I don't know. While I like to believe that I'm in the storytelling and record keeping parts of food, which is journalism. Like in 20, 30 years time, who is telling the stories of the things that happened in 2023, 2020? So I think that's the field that I tie into, the storytelling part. That's why I like traveling around Nigeria. Like last week I was in Abuja, I was in Kaduna. I was meant to go to Jos, but they don't have airport and it's road trip, and soft boy, I don't do road trip. So stuff like that. So I like to go to places that, because in Nigeria, if we're being honest, in Nigeria, if we're being honest, the food story is being told by mostly Lagos and Abuja with a sprinkle of other places. Nobody's telling the food stories in Borno State. I mean, there are people doing it, but it's not on a large scale. The large scales is mostly Lagos and Abuja. Almost all the food influencers are based in Lagos and Abuja. Maybe they were based in their state and they moved to Lagos because that's where the money is. Nobody's going to Ondo State to tell Chef Dami's story. I know it is funny, but there's a story there. I'm not trying to be funny. There's a story there somewhere. Nobody's going to Borno State. I'm sure they have chefs there or they have mama puts there. I've been to Borno and there's some dishes that I do not know. Most of us in Nigeria, we only know our food. If you are Yoruba, it's only Yoruba food you know with a sprinkle of Igbo food. If you are from Bayelsa. So these states, I like to go to states that nobody goes to and, documents the things that are happening there, what they are eating, how they are eating it. Like in Borno, I discovered that there's this meat called denderu, where they dig the floor and they cook the meat underground, they cover it with leaves. Who knew about this food before? Who knows about denderu from Borno State? Nobody. Then in Bayelsa, there's this soup called kirigina, where they don't cook it, they just mix some things, pot, water, and mix. Who knows about that soup? Oh, okay, it's in Edo State. So stuff like that. So I think that's like the part of the food ecosystem I fall into. Journalism in a new way, because journalism basically to most people is writing a newspaper and this thing. But that's, if you don't evolve, you die. So I'm in the evolving stage of journalism. So that's what I do. And
Thank you.
They say journalists are poor, so that's why I'm not as rich as
Thank you. Because I was actually going to go to that, to ask you, how do you make money out of going to Bayelsa, going to Maiduguri?
I don't make money. No, from the traveling.
I mean, from the
Who is
whole...
from the restaurants. No, that's not. The money I make is from big, like I'm on a retainer from many places, like Glovo, for example, now.
Like what?
Glovo is not a restaurant now. Yeah,
yeah.
Also, you people, I don't like discussing the source of my income, but let me just say it.
Yes.
So, for example, this morning I had a 3-hour meeting with, please, decorum. Yeah, toast this lady, please let her, Freya, stop toasting her. So, like this morning now, there's this app that wants to open in, Nigeria, and like, they paid me like $500,000 to consult for them. So so stuff like that. I don't
$500,000 or...
No, Naira. I want to be earning dollars, but stuff like that, because it's a food app they want to open in Nigeria. It's international, and they're asking me questions about Nigeria. So stuff like, I don't post stuff like that. And on a bad month, I have at least 4 of those, and that's not a restaurant. But I don't like to post, because the one time I posted wealth, people are reporting my page. That 5 million Naira fish that I posted on my page, people literally reported my Instagram and TikTok page, and IG warned me that people are reporting your page.
Really?
Yes. So
can you tell us a bit about that? What happened? 5 million
Nigerians
fish?
apparently don't like saying wealth. If they feel you're not deserving, if maybe a Davido posts wealth now, they'll like it. But this guy, we knew him 4 years ago. This guy that I saw, like I stay in Yaba, this guy I saw in Sabo Market pricing fish with me, he's posted 5 million Naira fish. They worship people that they feel like deserving, you get. But it's like Okpeda, like I don't drive, right? Okpeda, I saw in Uber, he's posting 5 million Naira fish, report this page, so stuff like that. So I've learned to...
Was it you that reported on the fish?
No, the page, my page.
The page.
Yeah, the post. Like IG and TikTok warned me that they reported you, be careful, this. So that's like one way that I make money from consulting many restaurants. I'm on many retainers of many brands.
So you see, Okwe, I hear you very well about, you sitting in that. You're calling it journalism. It's sounding a bit scientific. So, I think you're a content creator.
I promise you I'm a journalist. It's you that... So it's like saying... So first of all, who is a food critic? If you Google it right now, it's like a sports journalist. Someone that reports sports. If you Google, a food critic is a journalist whose beat is reporting food. That's basically a food critic.
Okay, well and good and fine. But you see, I find it interesting that, in the different places you go to, the food and, it's a lot of content that you're creating. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, definitely.
Okay. So, question is, beyond social media, the digital platforms, are you looking at also, because you are really educating people, even with the little you've said now, you see, it's an eye-opener. What are your plans to go on mainstream TV? Because, educating our students, our children, so that, we are not just in that our space of, okay, I'm Yoruba and I only know Ewedu and, Amala. Right. And so how are you how do you want to expand? Because I think you are doing something very incredible.
That's
it's just
that,
yes, please.
So sometimes God, when you think it's only digital and you don't need anybody, God will send maybe an angel that will see you and believe in you. Mm-hmm. And will say, this thing you are doing, let's put it on TV. Mm-hmm. And, with their money, they'll spend money. And, there's one guy called Mr. Femi. The guy approached me and he said, let's put this thing on TV. and let's educate the next generation.
Oh, Mr. Femi.
One guy like that, one Mr. Femi guy.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so it's his.
What channel?
Don't worry about it, but it's currently in the works right now, and there's like a show. Basically, it is to educate the next generation.
Thank you so
about
much,
Nigerian
Femi.
food.
This is amazing. Can we just put our hands together for Mr. Femi is sitting just right next to me. Yeah, and you see, this is what we've heard this morning. You know, a lot of creators who don't have opportunity. And I found out that there's something consistent about these guys like Femi, like Agatha, like Greg, who started as producers before they became broadcasters. They know where the pain is. And that is why now that they've started their own channels, they don't want the people coming after them to go through the same torturous route of, trying to get airtime. Imagine trying to tell you to buy...
Take off the stress.
Exactly. Exactly. To buy airtime for 30 minutes. I know what I'm talking about.
Let's not even go there. Let's not go there.
No, I think it's important we talk about that.
The truth is,
how much do you spend on airtime?
I'm happy that it's something that we are discussing. Now, this terrain, Nigeria, is very wonderful. By the time I speak to my friends abroad and let them know that I actually pay airtime to show my beautiful content, they don't understand it.
Exactly. Even
they
me, I
they
don't
get
understand
it. Yeah, but that's what we do here. While I'm thinking of money for production, thinking of how I want to pay staff, thinking of how I should even buy myself some small earring, even if it's earring I have to buy. I'm thinking of how much I want to give broadcasters. And their money is not small. Now, if you are able to even broker a 50-50 partnership, which by the grace of God, I do with at least 50% of the TV channels I'm on.
How many are you on again?
15.
Let's
15.
Let's work together
so
now.
by the time you broker that, the advertisers, the agency, they are not giving you money up front. They are not even paying you at the right time. Sometimes you do a job and 6 months you have not even gotten your money. How am I going to give it to these people I have brokered 50-50 with? So it's kind of very exhausting to the mind. So I would rather I produce and one distributor come and carry it, pay me money, let me sit down, relax, and enjoy my hard work.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, from all the things that we've spoken this morning and now, do you think that NBC can actually step in to, help to correct this? Because it's just a recurrent decimal this morning. Because we're talking about people who are creating content, right? Some guy in Obibo somewhere making $1.4 million. He's not regulated, right? So there is no level playing ground for people who, like Femi, have to be regulated, who has a running cost overhead, and then you also need to go to these broadcasters and pay them airtime, for you to put your show on it. I think there is a conversation that needs to happen.
I honestly think so too. I do.
Absolutely. I mean, because what you just touched on, it's insane. And a number of people, Shile, she ran away. It's insane. Do you understand?
Yes.
I mean, how do you start a TV show? And that's why that's what Foodbay TV is trying to do. Like, it doesn't need to bother. We created a show called Food Quest. I mean, it would be nice to show everyone some of those shows.
Yeah, we're going to play the video very soon.
Food Quest with him, he's the host of the show. And we had to bring Coca-Cola to be a part of it. We had to bring Coca-Cola to be a part of it. That's because we have paid the dues. She's on 15 stations. I can remember when we were on doing Views and Tunes 2007, 2008. You would have to go through that painstaking process of creating your content.
And you have to look
and
for
then you
money.
have to look for money to... In fact, I failed on that for about 8 years. You pay the TV stations, then you go to the agencies. The agencies will collect the money they are paid, and they sit on that money. 1 year sometimes. but you have to ensure that your liquidity ratio for that period is spot on. So how do you get money? So you just keep pumping in money.
You know,
till
it's very interesting because in Nigeria, I understand we have about 300 channels. Now, the question is, if 300 channels, and I said it this morning, whoever started television in Nigeria, we need to go and ask them if they are still alive. Let's understand. Because I'm coming from a distribution background, and I remember in my very active sales days of selling content across the continent, right? My boss will ask me that, which country pays the least for content? $50 an hour, as small as $50. So imagine that you have, 100 episodes, and I'm sure you, Gina, you may have like 1,000. So imagine that somebody is paying you $50 times 1,000 episodes. How much is that? That's like $50,000, isn't it? And that's just one channel, right? So imagine us having 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 channels in Nigeria, and they are not investing in content. I think there's a fundamental issue that we need to actually speak to as Nigerians. You want to say something?
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes,
to
please.
Mr. Femi and mostly Jenna. So these things that we are doing, it's like Afrobeats. Eventually, the doors will open. And how do you feel? Are you scared that all these things you are doing, you will just open the doors, and those who will come after will benefit more? Do you have that fear?
Not at all. The reason is this.
Like the bands, like for example, Afrobeats now, those who began, it was like the bands, Two-Face, Eddie Remedies, they did their dues, they made their money. But it's the likes of Davido, Wizkid, and these new ones that are enjoying it. And I have that feeling that yes, we are doing the work, making the money.
First, I always like to say, I also stood on some people's shoulders. Okay. I wasn't the first on this space. Though probably I'm like the first who started this whole weekly new content on TV. Most maybe branded shows, they will just do it maybe for a quarter or two, they will rest, come back next year. But I think I just kept doing mine. So, but the truth is, as much, you can see what's happening in the social media space. There are new people every day. Even if it's not a food content, even if it's sports content, music content, there are new people. But one thing I always say is, I have already taken my flowers. Whether they are giving it to me or not, I've taken my flowers. That I have been able to do this week after week for 10 years. If he easy, try him. That's what I keep saying. So I've already taken my flowers, and I'm very, very happy that I also have that shoulder that others can climb up.
I just want to also say something like, sitting on 5,000 hours of content is a lot. Yeah. You've invested over 10 years. I'm sure if you were to put together, I was surprised. I was, getting content from somebody in France, and, they already had a channel. She had a channel on their platform, And so I think beyond what you're doing now, your model, your current business model of monetizing through advertising and sponsorship, right? We need to look at the distribution.
That part I am very open to. That part I've been looking out for, because it's going to give me so much rest, trust me.
And so much money.
So much
and
money,
dollars,
so much rest.
Now,
let me tell you what, my Facebook is monetized, and my YouTube is monetized, and at the end of the month, I just love the fact that I throw something in there. I did not pay airtime, now only data now I spend, and I go just give me small dollar for bank, bam, out. So thank you. That's how it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You understand?
Absolutely.
That's how it's supposed to be. So somehow, I don't know, like Okpe said, this thing will open. I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping that someday there is a Foodies and Spice show on Netflix, on Amazon Prime. I just want to see it there. Just give me the money. I produce for you. If I go to China, I produce in China. I've produced in Azerbaijan. I've produced in Dubai. I've produced in France. I've gone to different countries. So give me money. Let me go and tell the food story. Come back, take. People should watch. Let me go and sleep. That's what I want to do.
I think, just on wrapping up before we play the video, Femi, how do we export food content out of Nigeria? What would be your strategy? I know Nigeria, locally, you are everywhere. I saw a video of what he did recently in Port Harcourt. I'm like, it blew my mind. I'm like, how are you farming this engagement? So you've covered Nigeria, right? And but there's also money out there, and that's always what I preach to producers. What do you think in the coming year, by the grace of God? What is your strategy? How do you want to, export? Even Gina, how can we strategically export this food content so that it's actually not just getting you revenue locally, but outside of Nigeria, somebody in UK can watch your show, across different platforms. I think we also need to look at that.
Okay, okay.
I'll quickly want to rush that so that once I say this, I can take my leave. Please, everybody, I'm really sorry. I need to be somewhere. So my thoughts on how we can export. Avenues like this. Ijoma, you do a great job. I've gone to South Africa with you. I've gone to France with you. You know these people who can buy our content. Send them to us. I do a good job. I use beautiful cameras. I buy new ones every time. You understand? 4K quality. You understand? We can do the good job. We can tell the stories. Okpeye means can travel to Borno. Me, I will not go. Yeah, they can go. They will now do the content, send it over. We can tell these Nigerian stories. It's very important that we do.
And
it's very important.
And we also export.
You understand? Like what Mr. Femi said. I want to go to Azerbaijan, and just the way I'm seeing a McDonald's, I'm seeing a Subway and the rest. I want to see Mama Jollof somewhere, and I should just enter and buy. He also mentioned the way the Chinese have been able to penetrate everywhere. Now I sit down, I remember when I gave birth to my kids, the first thing I asked for when I came out from the labor room is, please, can I have Singapore noodles? You understand? Because I know it, I've heard about it, I've eaten it. You understand? I'm sure there's someone who loves jollof rice every year, but when they come out from labor room too, they'll say, a Chinese woman will say, send me jollof rice. You understand? So we need to do this, and if they don't see it, they can't know it.
Absolutely.
So I take my time. People say, oh, Gina, with her local food. I have to show local food. All the Nigerian soups, you can find it on Foodies and Spice. Because if people don't say, my audience has passed Nigerians now, thanks to social media. I have people watching me all the way from Malaysia, Philippines, everywhere. And they're beginning to ask, what are these things? And good enough. Most ingredients are the same everywhere. Even if they are known with different names. So all they need to do is cook it my way, and they understand what I'm talking about. So I'm sorry, everyone. I would like to take my leave now.
Yeah, I think you answered, you threw the question back to me, you answered it. So let's just put on the video, and then, yeah. Okay, take a picture, okay. So we'll take a picture. You can play the video, yeah. So we have a presentation, a video from Foodbay TV. Please relax, enjoy, watch it, and then...
Today, we are going back to basics.
I'm just going to fold that in.
I know. I'm Soliat Badar, and welcome to Foodbay.
Hi, Foodbay. My name is Buremi Fregene, the Chef Freg, and you're welcome to my office. You want another round of dessert? Sorry.
explore the exciting world of African food as you have never before seen it on Food Bay.
Over 100 million Nigerians depend on and are served by these guys. You call them street vendors, we call them street foodpreneurs. This is Street Foods Niger Season 3, The Redefinition. Over the next 13 weeks, 14 contestants will be selected across the country, Abuja, Enugu, and Lagos, to battle for the title of King of Street Foods in Niger. 10 million naira in cash plus 10 million naira in value, 9 content experiential activations, 4 regional events,
ladies and gentlemen, right up,
3 celebrity judges, and 1 street food festival.
and the winner is
Who will be crowned the King of Street Foods in Niger?
Today, we'll be going on a food quest to the eastern parts of Nigeria to be trying the most popular soup that the Igbos love. It is their pride. You are Igbo, right?
Yes.
Let's play a game. Name 5 Igbo dishes in 1 minute from any region in the east.
I don't know it in Igbo, but Calabar people call it Edikaikon. I don't know what Igbo people call it. Ogbono.
Keep quiet. Let book enter your head.
Sorry.
Insecurity is one of the greatest challenges that humanity faces, particularly in
malnutrition,
Africa,
hunger.
which is
Ghana is
millions
far
of people
from production.
Transforming food systems at every level to put affordable, healthy and sustainable diets within reach of every person, everywhere.
àwa làwa ń pa ẹja láti water side.
Welcome to my kitchen.
You're making a zobo-tastic today.
Welcome, Food Bay.
world, up to 45 million children are starving and suffering from malnutrition. So no, it's not okay to waste food. Here's what you can do. Accept only what you can finish. But please, 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 try to finish everything on your plate. Hey everybody, my name is Shimanya Itegbe and I'm 6 years old. Don't waste food.
Àlòtún lò, èyí jẹ́ lílo nǹkan ní ọ̀pọ̀ ìgbà láì sọnù. Bí àpẹẹrẹ, aṣọ tó ti jù lọ máa sọnù. Fún ẹni tó kéré sí ẹ, àlòtún lò, ó máa dín ìdọ̀tí kù ní àyíká, ó máa jẹ́ kí owó pọ̀ sí ní àpò wa.
At some point, they were contestants on this show, but since then, they've gone ahead to become superstars and entrepreneurs in every sense of the word.
Like every year, 600,000 beds need to die because of Korean spaghetti alone. 6,000 or 600,000.
In my new space, I put in 4 million naira for 2 years.
Sorry?
12 million naira per annum.
Someone who is at the gutter can sell a 1,000 naira meal for 50 people. Calculate it in 7 days.
I don't even think anybody working in the banking industry right now is earning that kind of amount.
What challenges would you say you face directly?
Talk about staffing is a challenge for me.
We had to lay off the staff just because the person was being disrespectful.
I was not thinking maybe let me just get family and friends to help me. That is not the worst case. My cousin was carrying money inside his matter.
Managing them has not been easy.
I carry my staff. Oh, yeah,
How have you been able to use technology to make your business thrive even more?
Technology is so good that before, if you want to make transfers, you have to wait for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
I had to lose a job. My profit in that job was over 150k. I had to lose that job because whenever no credit me until 9 p.m.
All these are our bank. They wouldn't stop the whole entire business.
Thank you. So I just want us to know that Food Bay TV is organizing a food tasting event this evening for us at the Saffron Hotel at the rooftop. So they've done a lot of tantalizing on screen. And Femi, you want to talk about a bit about that for this evening?
Yeah,
What's happening?
We're just having a food tasting. I mean, food is not just to be seen on screen. It's meant to be experienced. So, I mean, food cannot become a mainstream thing until you start to experience it. So what we have done is that we have like 2 of the winners, finalists of the Street Food Niger platforms. And one of them is here, King Lab. And these guys, you know, before coming on the platform, what they were, when they got on the platform and, you know, the transformation, we can see that they have moved from obscurity and heading towards prosperity. Because a number of them weren't making 500,000 or $1 million at a time, but right now some of them are doing 4 million naira daily. And we are not paying attention. And, you know, no one in this room is going to tell me that food is not going to be bigger than, because our culture, if you look at it, our culture, who we are really, heritage, is right there in our food. Stockfish is not even from Nigeria. Yet we use it on a daily basis. We're enriching other countries. You know, but we have things here that we consume. We don't know, either we don't know the source of it. Igbos cannot even name their own meals, you know, but then we're embracing burger. We're trying, you know, so for us, we're saying mainstream media, it's great we're doing news. It's great that we're doing music. We're doing Nollywood. But creative economy, food plays a major role. And that would also attract FDI for us, foreign direct investment.
Yeah.
We can export our culture. And that exactly is what this is about. So the session at Saffron is just to come and experience it. Is it nice or not? So we have two chefs that would be King Lab and Avion's Kitchen. Will be there to tantalize you. So please join us.
Thank you. Just before we wrap up, the food content you have, there are a lot of broadcasters in this room. Can your content go on traditional broadcast channels in Nigeria?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been doing that. It's just that we have, the catalog is so huge. We have probably over 250 hours of content. Loads of content from Nigeria, from Ghana, from, different countries. It's not just here. Street food has been done in Ghana. Street food, Niger is arguably Nigeria's number one in terms of number now, number one culinary, TV show. So we can get on TV stations without having to, the challenge is always pain.
Yeah, so I just want to put you on the spot a bit, Femi. Can you just, I want to make an appeal to you. For the broadcasters in this room, you have over 250 hours of content. Can you just give out 13 episodes so they can go try this content and prove that it's working and open up that opportunity for them to start licensing food content?
I'll be fired by my board.
No, you're bored. I think that's the whole essence of what we're trying to do here.
Yes,
right?
we can.
You just said that broadcasters in Nigeria don't understand licensing. They don't buy content. The only thing they know is to sell. Let's just try and open that door. 13 episodes. Just 13 episodes. Yeah. Femi, can you just say a yes or a no?
We'll discuss it once we step out. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think it's been, wow, this is amazing. I'm so thrilled by the conversations that's happened this evening. And Femi, again, please think about that request. I'm making it on behalf of broadcasters. It could unlock Nigeria for all that we care and all that we are talking about as far as food content is concerned. You have a question? Okay, so I'll just take one question because we need to run to the next session now. But I want to say, if you're a broadcaster here, please engage Femi for your 13 episodes, right? Please just meet him and say, Femi, that 13 episodes, let's start from somewhere, okay? Yeah, quickly, your question.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Dan Chrisebie. I'm a filmmaker. One of my questions will go straight to Ijoma, and that has to do with our agencies. I don't know if you're engaging them because they are supposed to also be part of this to tell us why a lot of our producers who create content, put it on the channel, those content are being paid for, but the producers don't get the money. We need to also engage them because they are a major factor in this one. Then secondly, Journalist Pro Max, that's what I should be calling you now. Well done with a good job. In fact, today you have just made me, believe in the fact that I did not jackpot. I'm not going to jackpot because there's a lot of possibility in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
With what I'm saying, we don't need to go anywhere in the world. We can stay here and create our own economy. And for the things that both of you are doing for food is amazing. Please, I'm just concerned because I come from a food family. I'm from Akwa Ibom, and we used to have our cuisine. But here, sitting down and seeing Yoruba guys who I used to think only know Amala, talking about food more than I do. It's something that is amazing. Please, do you go to Akwa Ibom? Do you go to Cross River? Because there's a food festival that happens there every September in Akwa Ibom. And in fact, it shocked me last year to see that we have more than 500 food, recipes in Akwa Ibom alone. So it would be nice as you are going around, let's have this thing showcased on your TV so that more Nigerians can know that we don't need to depend on the burger because this burger thing is making us go out of shape. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miami. Thank you so much, Femi. Yes.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause again. I mean, the NIFS has been something indeed, and you can see that there are so many things out there that we can explore and exploit, and it will not just be profitable for us as television people, but even for the audience out there. You know, you get to see and know about culture, you know, from different places in Nigeria. Please, a round of applause once again for Femi, Gina that had to leave, and Opeyemi Famaki. By the way, just to reiterate, there's a food tasting session much later at the Saffron Hotel, courtesy of Food Bay TV. Please, emphasis on food tasting, not food eating. Don't bring your family problem there. Just taste. Half buff, that's it. All right. What's the difference? Tasting is different from eating. There's different. No, the food, when they come on food, they hold big plates. They will not expect you to fill that plate. Now, some people, they join salad and okra. Just because, but this one, you just take a pinch each. All right. We go into the presentation we were going to have earlier, but we had to make sure we had a very compact house. Please, those of you that are joining us from our co-locating event, you're very much welcome. Thank you for making our time to be here. We did this specially for you, and we're jumping right into it. So, this point is what we call the TV Broadcasters Content Acquisitions Workshop. And our resource person, alongside Ijoma, will be talking about meeting quality content and programming needs in a digital era. I'll say that again. Meeting quality content and programming needs in a digital era, which is the era we're in now. At this point, I'd like to welcome, she was here yesterday, and of course, we're happy to have her here today, the CEO of Micromedia Group, Shilola Ibironke. Please, a round of applause. A woman of very many parts, and all the parts are profitable parts. That's a fantastic one about that. All right? And, of course, to be joined by, just her alone. All right. Okay. I thought it was a conversation. I guess there'll be a conversation after that, probably. Okay. So the presentation, keynote presentation, I can call it that. So once again, let's receive Shilola Ibironke. Please, a round of applause.
Good afternoon, everyone. And to the broadcasters that are here, I hope what we present today would be more than good enough for the networks to pick up. And I must tell you, I must put a caveat before, we're not offering any 13 episodes for free. But then, so please, can you play the show reel? Thank you so very much. That was a lengthy 10 minutes of, I'm sure you guys can see that that's very high quality titles content. And if you look through it, we've practically run through the whole Nigeria. Started with the Yoruba, that's the epic Yoruba titles. And then we moved to Igbo titles. And I was saying yesterday while I was presenting that I'm Yoruba. The editors that edited the Igbo films, they're also Yorubas alongside with me. So it doesn't really matter. And I'm sure we didn't have any dialogue mishap at any point in time. But for us, targeting is highly important for us to understand where content should breed from, where the consumers, I keep calling them consumer, where the eyeballs are, that's the general audience. Content is king. It can go from everywhere. It can go from the large screen to your mobile device. And we tend to go across all of these titles one after the other and monetize them. So to our great broadcasters here, while they were talking earlier, they did talk about the TV networks, and they were talking about 15 channels, TV networks, and I began to smile because we have over 30 channels that we have to deal with, TV networks that we have to deal with on a weekly basis, right, guys? Or almost like you have to, connect with them, ensure that your content is being, broadcasted, and you're sure that you're thriving on a daily basis. So that is what Micromedia Production and Micromedia Group of Companies, that's one arm of our business, and that is what we represent. So if you have any questions, or if you want me to take you through any journey that we have, I'm happy to take questions now. Thank you.
All right, so does anyone have any questions, please? Okay, there's a question there, please. Thank you. There's another question. So we have, do you want to take all the questions and answer, or you want to take one? All right, so we'll take all the questions, then should answer. So the first one, yes, please.
Hi, I'm Jock Elkad. I'm an independent producer, and companies like yours are incredible and amazing, but how does an independent producer get access to you? One thing I found in Nigeria is there's a huge barrier to access to distributors, and distributors turn producers. So I don't know, how exactly do we reach you? How do we get our content in front of you? And then how do you disseminate that to other people?
I work for ATN. Good work, but in your opening remarks, you provided a caveat, no-go area. So we wanted to change your stand so that you can see that you didn't get a good applause after your presentation, despite the good work you presented, but you didn't get an applause.
Nigerians
So even if, no, not free things anyway, we're all here, we are doing investment, you are doing investment, we must meet ourselves somewhere so that win-win, lose-lose. If we win, you will win. So change your caveat. Thank you.
Are we changing, Shile? Are you changing? So do we have any other questions?
We have more questions.
All right, then in front, please. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Hudung. I'm from Jos. Do you have movies for family viewing?
For family viewing, yes, very much. We have movies for family viewing. That's why when I started and said some of the titles that you're seeing here are not available and all of that, yeah. So I would like to explain the fact that the titles that you see there, I'm sure you've seen maybe Cutting of Throat and all of that. We format to your view. That's a showreel. The Ilu Akeju that you saw, it's actually a love story, okay? Yeah, so when you're taking it, it depends on the screen. When you're taking it to, like maybe a Jos that, you've gone through a bit of insurgency, we would reformat to the viewing that you like. We'll give you only the part of it, the interesting part of it that is that is a love story. I'm sure you saw the one that has Ogenekume. In the international markets, we don't trade it as ogenekome, we trade it as broken. It was originally created as a 60-episode content, but where you get the insurgent part of it, we had to neutralize that and took out about 20 episodes of that. So when we're in international markets, so like countries like Ivory Coast, like country like Mali now that is heavily under dictatorship, you cannot, stream that there. But then it's a love story, actually. So we call it broken, and then you begin to see where the love part of the story begins to evolve itself. We have to tell our stories, not all mushy. We have to tell the stories the way the real environment is occurring in Nigeria. Why you may think that, okay, it's something called family viewing. They are watching more extreme things on other devices and requesting for it. So maybe you can try and see if your numbers, your viewership would not even go higher when they see such titles. I don't know if I've answered your question. Thank you.
So do you have a question or a comment, please? All right.
Thank you. Probably I want to structure the question, the question the lady asked, because she's coming from the background of a traditional TV station, and there are rules. And what we saw is not permissible on the terrestrial. And the policy of local content and the creation of that belt called Family Belt is actually to promote local productions from other independent producers in the house, so that we can have at least 60% of local content that is compelling, that talks to issues in our society, and that I can sit down with my children and my husband and bond to watch. So if you have something that has a lot of bloodletting, has a lot of violence and all of that, even if it is happening and people are watching on other devices, you will not want to encourage your children that way. You want to tell them that there's another Nigeria that is different from this. So the guidelines for broadcasting in Nigeria for terrestrial says that this is not allowed. So what I think she wants to ask is, do you have something that I can put conveniently on that belt? The belt, family viewing belt, is 7 to 10. It's huge. It's a prime time on TV, and it's deliberate to address Nigerians, to address our children, to encourage family life, and also to create platform for the huge creative industry that we have. Do you understand? So it's actually, we're not saying that the story is not like that. We're not saying that that's not, we're saying what can we do that we can begin to change the narrative. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you so very much. Madam, do you know why I kept on smiling all through? When the primetime code was moved, when the 60% regulation, the NBC code was done, that would be in 2009, when that was done, that you had to be 60% Nigerian content. It was done based on one of the operations of the organization that I worked in then. Then we were selling telenovelas, When You're Mine and the rest. I'm a grown TV girl. Most of these titles that you're seeing on that we've created here are currently on television. So what we did, when they said a show reel, we had to put our movies first, the epic ones first. And then we moved all the way to the ones that the TV networks can look at. Casino has streamed across all TV platforms in Nigeria. Taste of Love streamed across all TV platforms in Nigeria. They are very much love stories. I don't know if I've answered your question, ma'am.
Yes, she answered. Someone wanted to add something, Sheila, quickly.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Oke Nwosu from Key Media. Madam, actually, my question is going to you. You see, we keep on preaching some things in Nigeria. And I wonder why places, yes. I wonder why places like BBC, all these foreign channels and other, the NBC, I was discussing with NBC DG here. It's based on still the same thing. Why is it that we have a kind of double standard? We allow this foreign content to be aired freely without restriction, without cutting anything, without telling them. The fact remains that the same children you are talking about have access to those places. You don't block those places. For the fact that it's only when you are sitting with your children that you say they are going to block those things. Whereas your children still have access to DSTV, they still have access to all this international television, and you don't block it. So I was thinking that we have to be very holistic about this. If NBC wants to cut all those things and say that all we in Nigeria should be wearing big this thing to cover ourselves and all that, it should go across all the media space, because the same children you are talking about still have access to those media spaces. They say we will not expose alcohol and all that. If on TV, it must start from 10. You go to Premiership, you are seeing Guinness. And they expose it by 4 p.m. And we still have NBC. So I think we should have this conversation of playing on level playing ground across board. So that, because most of the times you say that our producers are not doing the right thing, they're not doing this, because by the time you go to Nigerian Census Board, they will cut all the good parts of all this and water the story. By the time you cut all those things, the story is watered. And some people will go to air and say, Nigerian producers are producing trash. Because you have already watered all those things. But foreign movies, you assess them and say, you start clapping for them. Because they allow most of all those things you are cutting in Nigerian content. So you cut all of them. So please, madam, what I'm saying, we should have this conversation and we should tell ourselves the simple truth, and we'll start playing this saintly Nigerian thing, whereas with our same kids we are talking about still have access to the same thing we are avoiding. So let us be real. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, we want to be real. We all know we know that our children know how to kill. And then I sit down and I teach my child how to kill. So that's what you are saying.
No.
So excuse me, please. Everywhere in the world, globally, everywhere in the world, there are standards. There are standards, there are regulations about what is allowed on terrestrial. Don't mix it with what is on cable. Because what you get on cable, you are in control. There's the programs guide, you have the EPG, you have what's the other one? Conditional access, you have the code. So within my own house, I decide what my children can watch on DSTV. If in your own house, you allow them field day, too bad. So please, let's differentiate the two. Content creator, what she did is a beautiful production. Don't get me wrong. What I am saying is that if you are selling this to terrestrial television producers, it will not fly. If you are selling to African Magic movie, 1, 2, 3, Epic, this other one, it will go. Because I am going to watch that, and I have the control. At the click of a button, I can decide my child will not watch this. I'm adult enough to know that this is being presented to me in order to discourage it. But we say that there's something wrong in our society. We're not this violent. We're not a violent people. We want to encourage communal life. We want to bring back our family life that we're losing. And that's why that family belt was created. And the intention is to bring back what is good. We can still create this, we can still send this message, some of these messages, in a very decent manner that is good for family viewing. If it is on that other platform, fine. I watch what I want to watch. So I want you to differentiate the two. And it's not just in Nigeria. Every civilized society, has control. Even in Amsterdam, where watershed starts at 9 p.m. Before 9 p.m., they control what you can watch. After 9 p.m., you can see a nude woman advertise herself because you have already been told that from 9 p.m. it's watershed. So what we are saying is that Family Belt is left for family, and it is and Family Belt says 100% of local content that is for family viewing is what is, and it is to encourage creativity, creative talents like my sister here. So we are encouraging people who produce to help us fill that space with content that we are proud of as Nigerians because we can do it. And content that is revolutionary, that can change our mindset from this violence that we see, from insurgency, from killing our neighbors, to back to the African spirit of brotherliness. So the fact that I want to create does not mean that I should, and I know that my children sneak to watch other things. I should come and sit down and feed them with that. That's what we're saying.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Okay, and thank you, Ma, for your good comments. But like I said again, this is a show reel. Each and every of those stories doesn't start and end by just the picture that you saw. It's highly important that when you're cutting the show reel, you make it extremely engaging. You take out very key points there. I'm sure you were intrigued by it. Even the bloodletting got you intrigued. Yes, let's be honest with ourselves. The bloodletting got you intrigued. You were looking forward to what would happen in each of these stories. So we created it for specific reasons. If you would like to see the full length of it, we can allow you access to our Vimeo for you to watch it. But let me also say again, like I've said, we have 30 TV networks. We stream in the Southeast, Southwest, South-South, northern stations. Even in the north, with the NBC code, there is a northern code. There are some things that you are not even allowed to show in the north. A man and a woman sleeping on the bed together, you would take that scene out. Yes. So when I said I'm a full-grown TV girl, our organization understands for every medium that you're exposing the content to. So we have content playing. I don't know if you're from Pure TV or you're from NTHs. Yeah, I have my food show, Dandanona Soyaya, shows on your station. So we have content. It's not a violent content. It's a Hausa babe that was cooking, and we're showing it on your station. So we have content for every network. It's just the fact that when we said we're micromedia production, the production that is highly rated today already has some key factors in them. And one of them is engagement, high-level quality engagement. If I just show them farming from the beginning to the end, you won't ask me these questions. Very true. Okay, to the lady that says she's an independent producer, I'm an independent producer. I'm also hustling. Do you understand? Yes. So we created a lot of these titles because we're in the hustling game. Keep your hustle strong. You'll get there.
Sheila, you've been funny. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you. So do we have any questions? And if without that, we'd call Ijoma to do her presentation on TV broadcasters' content acquisitions workshop. Thank you, Sheila. Will Sheila be here or should I go? No,
I can go now.
You're done.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
You too there. Bye. Emma.
Yes. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Auntie Franca. So, Auntie Franca is the director of monitoring at NBC, so we can understand. That is her forte. She's the one in charge. All the cutting outs, that's the person. All the cutting out happening in content, she's the one. So, wait, what? Okay. So I just want to talk to us about the whole idea around the content hub that we partnered with the NBC on. I'm supposed to have a slide on. Yes, so this is the content hub, and the idea is just to help Nigerian broadcasters see, change the way, yes, the narrative is extremely important. When I was listening to Auntie Frank and she was saying, oh, we created the family bells, right, to encourage creativity. Question is, how do the creatives have access to that belt? Do they still have to pay money? That's the question. Because if you're going to encourage creativity, it has to be holistic about it. It has to be a holistic approach. Because you don't create a time belt that costs 1 million naira or 2 million naira for 30 minutes. You have not encouraged creativity. So, and that is, this just keeps occurring. This has been a recurrent decimal since morning in all our conversations, that we need to have this conversation on a much higher level because they are fundamental issues that needs to be addressed. Producers are sitting down here, they find money, they go and produce, and then when they finish producing, they go to broadcasters, they need to find money to buy airtime for broadcasters, and when they find the money, they still are owed by the agencies. How are they supposed to survive? So if really NBC, introduces a code and says you want to support creativity, and we see a lot of people. Look at these guys here. Look at the Ginas. Look at, the OPMEs. There's so many content creators. The reason why they found their audience and they found their platform is because of the issues with the broadcasters. Because they will not buy content, they will not invest in content. And that is what this content hub is all about, to see how we can even help broadcasters understand the need. When Chile was presenting, Chile has sold her show. Chile, I need your attention. Taste of Love, she has sold it to at least 52 broadcasters in 52 African countries. If you ask her how many broadcasters in Nigeria paid for that content, I'm not sure there is any. She is the one who had to pay the broadcasters so that she can have, her content on their channel. But you step out to Ghana, I have an idea of how much Ghanaian stations pay for our content. You go to Benin Republic, that you think there's no money. I mean, is there any comparison? But I have an idea how much broadcasters in Benin Republic pay for content. You go to Cameroon, the same thing. So that is why, if you're a broadcaster, you're sitting here and you're a programming manager, and up until now, you don't have a budget, even if it is 1 million. When we had this conversation, we said, what can we do with 1 million for you as a broadcaster? We're going to show you some content right now from different independent producers. I can tell you that with 1 million naira, you can get maybe 10 movies. You can even get 20 movies. That's the starting point. And we need to start from somewhere. There are movies, that I have had to license because maybe they are 5 years old, they are 6 years, they are produced 5, 6, 7 years, but they're still relevant on TV today. And the producers can sell it as small as 20,000 for one because they have licensed it severally. So this is more like residual revenue for them. So if you have 1 million naira, that will give you almost how many movies? Let's say you're even licensing at 20K, as small as 20K per movie. So, but we need to start, the point is that we need to start somewhere. We need to really start somewhere to help to re-educate and reorient, do some capacity building for broadcasters to help them understand and listen, as a broadcaster, you need to take control of your airtime. Because that is what will make people, when they are flipping through channels, when you're in control, it means you're determining what is put on your channel. It's not anybody producing anything, and because they can pay money, they can afford the airtime, you take any content and put. It's going to affect your ratings. It's going to affect, the number of people who are watching, because you don't care. You don't care about the quality of what is being put, as long as the person, you name the price and they can pay the airtime, and then you take the content. But there are broadcasters who will never sell airtime. Why is Africa Magic, for example, not selling airtime? Why are they producing? Why are they licensing? I mean, that is how TV is done. It's either you're licensing, or you're producing in-house, or you're giving producers money to produce. If NBC is serious about encouraging creativity, then one of the things that needs to be done is to encourage broadcasters, set out a certain amount of money, and give independent producers to go make these things for you. They have no business producing and looking for money to pay for airtime. It's not their job. That is the job of a broadcaster. A broadcaster is supposed to give money to an independent producer, go make this show for me, it's exclusive to my channel. So you can exploit it on your channel, which is a terrestrial platform. And at some point, you can go to YouTube. And at some point, maybe you can take it outside. That is how the business of TV is done. So we need to. These are the things that, these are the conversations that we need to have to encourage, because we are self-sustained as Nigeria. If 100 broadcasters can put down 1 million naira, that's 100 million. I can tell you how many producers seated here that can be impacted by that money. If we decide to bring together a pool, let's put together content, 20 TV series, 100 movies, the food content, and then we share it amongst broadcasters. You're showing in Ibadan. Somebody that is watching you in Ibadan is not watching you in Imo State. So you have some level of exclusivity. Somebody that's in Ogun State is not watching you, is not watching the same program in Enugu State. So, and this is, if we're serious about moving from analog to digital, by the time you go to digital space, how are you going to survive as a broadcaster? How? If you don't have the right kind of content that can keep people glued. So, in summary, because our time is fast spent, we have a lot of things still going on this night. The food tasting is going to happen, and after that, we have a cocktail by Revo Plus. Everything is happening at the rooftop at the Saffron Hotel just across the road. But right now, we want to show you, if you're a broadcaster here, right? One of the take-home from Africa's this year is that you must go back and have at least 1 million naira that you can put into content. That is just taking baby steps. Yes. That is just like taking little baby steps. Because, in Côte d'Ivoire, they spend as much, broadcasters there spend as much as €500,000 on our content. I'm not making these numbers up. They spend as much as 500,000 in euro, not in CFA, to buy Nigerian content. That is what is sustaining their channels. But what exactly are we doing locally? So it's extremely important that we pay attention and see how we can take control as broadcasters of what is shown on our channel so that it can translate to viewership. And when it translates to viewership, it will translate to money. So I'll take a comment from Auntie Franca and then we'll play. So we have a couple of producers here. They are interested to work with broadcasters. So please, once we play their video, they will stand up here. If you have any question, some of them, I'm begging them to give 13 episodes. You see me there, I'm pleading. The reason why I'm doing that is because, people, it's easier for you to get into a place first. Get in first. When you get in, when you see, people see food content on a channel, for example, and they are coming back next quarter to ask you for that, you will be forced to go and look for the producer, and then you can begin to have conversation. Okay, I've given you 13 episodes for free. Can you please pay some money to take this? So that's the starting point, and I think that's the strategy that we need to pursue as much as possible. Thank you. And Franca, you want to say something? Yeah. After her question, then, yeah.
Thank you, Ijoma. I just want to say that Ijoma is doing great things, opening our eyes to opportunities. I mean, low-hanging fruits, like the engineers will call them. Opening our eyes to opportunities that are there for us. When we look at what we can do and we think that, oh, I don't have money to do this, I don't have money to do that. Late last year, we had a workshop on content financing. And NBC was just bothered that there's a lot of complaints about no funds, no government policy driving this and that in the creative industry. And we decided to hold that summit. It was content financing, yes, exactly what we called it. And we had people from all over the place. We even brought somebody from the banking industry, somebody from there's one other lady, yes, because we were all focused on, okay, could there be soft loan for content developers and all that? And then a lady came there, can't remember her name now, somebody answered to, came there, Adebite, exactly. She talked to us and opened our eyes to the fact that we don't need to take loans. As content producers, as content did that, there are funds available to us. It's about how deliberate we are in our content production and how we address issues that will drive those who will be interested in sponsoring us. Secondly, that's one. And we were meant to continue with that content financing. We're meant to do it quarterly. But this is the third quarter now, the fourth quarter. We've not been able to fund it. So if you are sitting down waiting for NBC to release one pool of funds that you can take from, you won't get it. The only thing NBC can do is to do policies, to come up with policies that can drive, that can support your creativity, that can drive what you do to make it easy for you to access these funds. And the lady told us that if, for instance, what she created now, for instance, there's a need for water there, and she directs the water to a particular water vending company. Then you go to them and say, your water will be here. We will use your water throughout the production or throughout the distance. Then the water people will come by force to sponsor. Then another thing, apart from being deliberate in your creativity, the other thing is, when you look at the Nigeria Broadcasting Code, when you're producing for broadcasters, please don't look at the part that is, oh, if you do this, you'll be fined. If you look at the opportunities that are there to guide you. The opportunities, I've been talking about this local content. When DSTV started, they made it look to us like they cannot carry local content. They don't have enough quality content to do that. We insisted that for people on cable, they must have at least 20%. People on satellite. And when they saw, we said, go and create a studio. That was where their talent hunt started. That was how they started producing. They had the first Africa mic. Now they have about 40% of local content. Most of the local television stations, we said at least 60%. Some of them are hitting 100. And then it's not just mouthing local content. They insist that the local content, even the adverts played in the local content, the actors must be Nigerians. Co-production is accepted, but it must be driven by a Nigerian producer. Look at the code. It's specific. And it is to help the industry. It's not all there to antagonize you. And then another thing that I see in the industry, in the creative industry, is that there's no unity. How do you push government? How do you advocacy? How do you push government to take decisions that affect you? In that local content, they also say any station that runs foul that is not able to meet up content policy and is fined, those stations, that fine is for, they call it local content development fund. That's what the code says. It's specific. But who has asked for it? Even the stations are trying hard to meet up that. That's why some of them are even doing 100% of local content. But content is not content. If it's not compelling, it's not content.
Absolutely.
So that's why they need you. They need you to do specific things to fill the space. You have docudramas, you have documentaries, you have features. We have so much that can be done here. I'm not just a regulator. I started as a broadcaster. I'm a theater artist. So I am passionate about what I talk about. And I think that we can do it right to change our society. We can do things that can turn this place around.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. So just before we go into the video, I mean, with all respect to, the codes and all that, I don't think we have a problem with financing. I don't think we have a financing problem. We have a monetization problem. There is so much content available that is not able to find its way on traditional TV, and it's just because of the model. So, yes, I know a distributor here, Lumine, just raise your hand. I've worked with her for so long. As she is now, she can give you 300 movies. So, and there's so many producers, I'm just giving her as an example. There's so many producers who have tons of hours of content. So, I think producers have been able to figure out how to create content, but it's how to make the money that we are trying to see. And we believe that if broadcasters actually, change the way their businesses are done, begin to be intentional about content, it's going to change the whole ecosystem. It's going to change everything completely. If you, as a broadcaster, you don't have a budget of 5 million in a year to buy content, then what exactly are you doing? And if you have 10, 20 of them that can dedicate just 5 million, 5 million normally should just buy you like 13 episodes. But it's a starting point. So please, I just still want to make this appeal to the broadcasters that please let your take home from Africa's Content Hub be that you need to be intentional about controlling the content on your channel. That is extremely important. Thank you. You want an intervention?
Well, still relying on existing protocols. When we say that broadcasters are not investing on content, it's not true. Okay. It's not. For you to show 24 hours, transmit 24 hours, you're showing something. Those are investments. Yes. Do you know how much it costs us to gather news? It's content. No, I'm coming. No, don't worry. No, that we're not patronizing you or we're not patronizing you doesn't mean that we're not investing. So it is a two-way thing. Just like you're making it collaboration. But don't dismiss us completely that we're not doing any investment in the sector. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah? For instance, let me tell you, I pay NBC to be on air. Do you get it?
Or do you pay producers?
I have not used your production. If I use it, I will pay. That's the truth. I pay several other persons. No, listen. We pay NBC. We pay satellite companies. We pay all manner of persons.
But you need to drive it with content.
That is what we are saying.
Content.
So we agree. Let it be a two-way thing. Don't blackmail us. Yes. Because if you want us to patronize you, let us agree. Not that. Not that.
Okay, let a producer respond to you. I'm not a producer. Let a producer respond to you.
You see, our protocol observed. See the major problem. By the time a broadcaster depends on hoping he's going to make his money from content that a producer uses his own sweat to produce, without looking out for industries, companies, advertising agencies, where he will market and make sure that they because they keep on telling you they pay for diesel, they pay for this. It's not from producers' money that you will pay for diesel. You have companies, you have advertising agencies that your own team will go and market. And that's where the real money is. Exactly. The content producer is helping you to make your station get rating. So the essence of producer is to make sure that the eyeball you are looking for, you get it from them. Yes. So it's supposed to be partners in progress. So partners in the sense that you will buy some content, then sometimes you have a 50-50 ratio where you market.
And
because
stop
the most
asking them
thing,
to pay for airtime.
Because the most important thing is for you to market your station with good content. And those good contents, majority of the good contents are coming from the producers.
And they are not cheap.
Which you want to charge, which you want to take money from.
Absolutely.
And it's not 1 naira. Because that's the problem.
Cheap. It's not cheap.
You take a whole lot of money. And when the person does not pay, you yank the program. Sometimes a very, very, very good program, maybe over 1 million or 500,000, you yank off the program. The most important thing is for you for broadcasters to know that the marketing of your station and the marketing going to media agencies, going to the companies, direct marketing, you can go to them and convince them in terms of patronizing your station, not from us.
Absolutely.
You don't get it from us. Thank you.
Please, I have a question.
Don't worry, we'll continue. We'll yank you off the way NBC yank up when we don't pay license fee.
So it's a vicious circle. Let's get the mic here, please. NBC, you're yanking off their this thing because they are owing and then they are not able to pay broadcast. So there's a vicious circle.
Some media houses are owing their staff. So I think we should start from there. So I think what NBC... So if they are owing their staff, how are they even going to...
buy content?
So I think what NBC should also be looking at media sustainability. And I'm not sure if the media are really open their books so that, I don't know. But what other things I also mentioned, I know there is, within the telecom industry, there is a fund that comes from licensing, like 20%. So the licensing fund that NBC collects, can we bring 20% from it to invest
in content? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, okay, we have just one more question and then we'll go into the showcase.
Thank you very much. My name is Anita Edwards. It's more of a comment than a question. I also think that because of the way the industry was set up, it's a bit upside down.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the truth of the matter is this. You're going to be losing, broadcasters will lose advertising revenue because at the end of the day, good adverts go to good content. So if you want to fix that cycle, because right now your potential revenue from advertising is split multiple ways. The streaming platforms will still get that money as well. The content creators on social media will still get that money as well. So if you then begin to license the content that is in demand, you channel some of that ad revenue back to your channels. So I just thought it's a sound
valid, very valid. I mean, it's even a different conversation to even recognize the fact that the little advertising revenue, there's so much, it's exactly, and then it's shrinking for traditional TV because it's the same guys that are putting advert on YouTube. They are the same guys that are putting adverts. So it's becoming more and more tough and competitive, to be able to access advertising revenue because as for traditional TV, it keeps shrinking and shrinking and they are diverting it to other places. So, to her point, for you to be at that level where you can even get the little that is available, you have to stay competitive with quality content. Thank you for listening. And at this point, we'll just watch the showcase from some of our distributors. Please feel free to engage them at the cocktail that we're having later and even right after this time. Thank you.
4 hours after you arrived. Who were the first persons you told about your arrival?
Salute to the best for guy in the whole world.
70% of home robberies are inside jobs.
What exactly do we suspect?
The pounds that were stolen. That's why we're here.
You see, pounds are naira.
I think there's no bad person now. Somebody that cannot kill a rat.
say can rub pencil. Na me tell my oga, say me dey call you.
That don't matter.
Yeah! You be so like I just dey forget. How be I go sit gun wait?
Why didn't you call the police?
I didn't even know about boom boom boom.
Hey, cut out the whole boom boom boom. You fool! The name is Officer Oko.
I'm sorry, I'm
Oga, I beg. You have 30 seconds till I finish this my cigar, and that's me being nice.
okay. I really don't know what to say, but what am I saying? Okay, I'm not the game master. I'm not a game master. I've not had any game, in years now. The most conversation I've had in the past 5 years is with my mother, So that's the only. What am I saying? Yeah, I think I'm done.
You have a wedding band, eh? So it means there must be a woman waiting for you at the other side of the night, or you just have a thing for matrimonial jewelry.
I had a wife. She's dead.
Now I have to feel sorry for you. Huh?
Oh. All I want is just companionship.
You really haven't done this before, eh? Solicit a woman for sex. Okay. So this kind of negotiations, they usually start with a bargain. Make an offer for a piece of the good stuff.
It's okay. Yeah.
Piece of,
I get it. I think I. Yeah.
You know what? So you just go to your car. You have a car. You came here with a car. You go there, go and sit down in it.
Hello. Okay, so before we continue, I have good news for some broadcasters here. I'm going to call on Tayo. There's some available content free that they are offering, children's content for children's belt. It's educational as well. And I have actually a history with this country. They're actually based in Tanzania. And Tayo, please, can you step forward? Please, let's welcome Tayo. Tayo is the country manager for Ubongo. Ubongo, they do a lot of kids content. They've done so much. So you're just going to talk a bit about Ubongo, talk about Akili and Friends, and, the content that is available and how you want to push this out, without a licensing fee to broadcast. It's not the normal thing, no. Normally, you're supposed to pay. But we're trying to, start from somewhere. So when you see it tomorrow and it impacts on your channel, then you can come back to say, okay, yes, I want more of this channel.
Thank you, IJ. I have to give her props. She's my predecessor in the role. So my name is Tayo. I work for Ubongo. Ubongo means brain in Swahili. Originally, this company started in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, creating content for African children. some Africans came together and said, we want our children to watch African cartoons. And that's what we are. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance for the broadcasters who were in the previous session. I didn't have a chance to share there. But I wanted to take this opportunity to share with you. So there is such content. It's already on air with some broadcasters. We have 3 main shows. We have Akili and Me, which is quite popular, targeting ages 3 to 6, teaches foundational numeracy, literacy, the very foundation, the basics, and it's been known to improve school readiness. So that's Akili and Me. Ubongo Kids is for the older groups, ages 7 to 14. There we begin to teach them, English as a second language, arithmetics, and socio-emotional learning skills. A lot of the things that we were raised over, in the previous session. And the latest one, which is the one that we just launched a few months back, is called Nuzo and Namia. All of them have been produced engaging with children, Africa's children, all across 14, 15 countries. Every single storyline was tested. And was tested in Nigeria, we tested in Kano, we tested in Lagos. So everything about it is relatable to Africa's children. When A is not Apple, here A becomes whatever is relevant in that country. And beyond that, we go into local languages. In Nigeria, we're now in 3 languages. We were originally in Hausa, and then we went into Yoruba, and we're currently just finishing Igbo. So the good thing is that we're an NGO. Our funders, during COVID, gave us the permission to extend this content on a Creative Commons non-commercial license. What it means is that for broadcasters who are willing to air this content to boost up the children's belt, which we said is almost non-existent, that we are willing to offer this content free of charge. We have 6 seasons of Ubongo Kids, 4 seasons of Akili and Me, and 1 season of Nuzo and Namia. So please, if you're interested, please just reach out, because I think we should also change the narrative. There is some content, and maybe the right collaboration is not happening, which is why I stepped out to say there is such content. Be happy to just, receive your request and make it happen. Yeah? If there's no question, I'm happy to step down. No question there? 1.
Okay, Tayo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for that. My name is Ahis. I represent AT&T 360. I'm an aviation and travel tourism TV content producer.
Right.
I just want to advise further for what you just said. The TV platform in this sector, if you don't take strategic steps, you find out those contents will only run on those TVs. Those kids will not watch it. The Cartoon Networks, the Disney World, Disney Nigerian, and Nickelodeon, they've taken over the platform. So what I will advise you do, I don't know if you're doing it presently, go to schools. Let these kids watch those programs in their schools. They will find those things on the station back home. Ski.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm happy you said that. We're in Lagos right now. In Lagos this year, we activated 148 schools. We face-to-face, live character, teaching them the same educational content in schools, about 38,000 children engaged, and went away with, a takeaway. But it's an expensive venture, yeah? But we are on it. We started, and thank you for that suggestion. Yeah? Yes, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I'll be here. I'll also be at the event. Please just reach out. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Tayo, for that. So can we please continue? Yes. Thank you.
tell me you're still working on that laptop this night?
Sweetheart, just give me 5 minutes, I'll be done. The manager of the eatery sent me an email which I must respond to immediately.
I thought that CEOs always delegate responsibilities and then attend to things whenever they want.
Boya Lomo. So CEO is the chief slave of the company. He's the one who pays banks the loans, and then he must never slack.
Okay, even... All right. This guy is mad.
What is it?
I mean, I don't understand these notifications I'm getting. Kelvin liking all the pictures I posted on Instagram. All our wedding pictures. He liked everything.
So what's the crime in that? That is your ex-husband does not mean he cannot like your pictures, all your wedding pictures.
Oh, there's nothing wrong in that. Okay, me, I am blocking him.
To me, that will be petty.
You think so? This guy's just talking me to monitor me, know how my new life unfolds and nothing more. You think he's happy that someone else is snuggled up with his former wife?
You'll be right there, Because no man in his right senses will want to lose you.
That's so sweet. Come here. Come.
Walk, woman, walk, woman, walk.
Just come.
Woman, win!
Ouch!
Abaseme.
Oga, what happened?
You see my life outside?
I hope you're okay.
I'm okay. You don't see my life outside?
What's the problem?
I have been plunked into the space. Cast outside. Trapped in the mirror. Yeah?
How?
Oh, you don't understand. Now, has blocked me on Twitter, blocked me on Facebook, blocked me on Instagram, everything.
That's it.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I dey go house.
Are you leaving me in my misery?
I won't go meet my wife and my son for house, and they wait for me.
Oh, so you are now mocking me. You are mocking me that I don't have a wife, Abby.
I mock you.
Yeah.
How can I mock you? Maybe you are the one that is proud to be a bachelor for life. So what is the mockery about?
Now, delete from my house. You can go. Get out.
Oga Kevo. We will stay for work next week.
Oh, bye-bye.
Social media.
See, I will blend carrots, spinach, and cucumber for you, right? They will help this migraine that you are having.
That's night. No, don't worry. I'll take more of the pills.
No. I don't want you taking enough of these pills, man. I don't want you stuffing your system with so much chemicals. We can cure this migraine with alternative medicine, like fruits, teas, extracts, roots, and other plants. It will help the migraine, really.
But why will you have to go and start blending things this night?
It won't disturb anybody.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Oh.
Baddest player. Danger.
Hello, Bong.
When was that?
I should be telling you, well done. You should be in bed.
I'm finding it difficult to sleep, sir.
Why will you not find it difficult to sleep when you are playing games? Why don't you go to your bed, lie down, cover up, and sleep will come. You will find sleep.
Okay, sir. I will do just that, but let me finish with this particular tournament.
Okay.
This thing there. Surely winning this. I'm winning. Yo. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Ubong, you are still not.
All right. I think I saw AK Media before this movie. So the producer is the producer of this movie here. Oh yeah. Okay, please. I'm so sorry I wasn't furnished with your name. So what's your name, please, so I can introduce properly? Yeah, no, you can bring another mic. What's your name? Buzola. They just say your name.
Good afternoon, everyone.
To the stage. To the stage. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Olajumoke Osola Kendeju. I'm the managing director of AK Media Concept. Actually, I don't know, most of the broadcaster here will know my dad. That's the late Mr. Benson Akindeju. So I took over from him when he died in 2019. And we've produced quite a number of, series, continued face-to-face, shooting new series, almost every year, at least 2 series in a year, 26 episodes, 60 episodes, and we run on some terrestrial channels. So for Extra Mile, this is Extra Mile. We run it presently on Africa Magic Urban. So after that, possibly to move to terrestrial. So any questions?
Oh, anybody want to buy? Let's just go straight to the point, man. All right, I think no questions, right? No
so
questions,
we also
no
have
comments.
our comedy TV drama series, Face to Face. We have Family Ties, yes. So if you hear Face to Face, it's not the old Face to Face. Yes, new content every year. We have the one we shot in November last year. We shot one this year also. So we have new content that we run. And we also use like social media, influencers on it just to, boost it.
All right, thank you, Olajumoke Akindeju, right?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Please, a round of applause for her. I know Facebook. I see what you people do with your sponsored ads on Instagram. Taking advantage of this, but I still like the old face-to-face. You know, we OGs. Honorable Chinyere, come and buy. Yeah, that's my friend, Honorable Chinyere Igwe. People are looking at him as broadcaster. He was actually a former member of House of Reps. No kidding. In fact, should I go to history? Yeah. No, but it's very famous. You know that first Dino Milaye fight, 2007, where they tear in singlet. Now him and Dino fight that fight. No jokes now. Now him with them breaking hand. Where women can't go prost. We are protesting violence against women. Why would they be Chinyere? They say, no, na man, na man. That's Honorable Chinyere. But he's now in his calling. All right. So we have Lumine Networks, the CEO, Eliora Iberechukwu. She's going to say a few words before we go into her own reel. So please put your hands together for Eliora. Where's the mic?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here and to be speaking to broadcasters here in Nigeria. Okay. Can you see me now? Okay. Yes, I'm the CEO of Lumine Networks. We are a distribution company based here in Lagos. And we distribute to all the platforms, from free-to-air to pay TV, to VODs, in-flight mobile. And we have a catalog of over 1,000 titles across different genres, including lifestyle, movies, name it, we have it. But before you see what we have, I would like to speak to what Ijoma has been saying earlier concerning how broadcasters approach content and acquisition. So, first off, broadcasters, you guys are trying. I mean, with the way things are in your, in your own space of the industry, you guys are trying. But we need to change the approach. We need to change the approach from getting producers to pay for airtime to actually buying this content. You know why? Because whether you like it or not, the broadcasters are actually the local market or a major part of the local market. And if we don't strengthen the local market, we'll keep depending on the foreign market. And if we do not strengthen the local market, we keep giving power to international platforms to decide the value of our content. We can't continue to do that. The local market, if we can't make back revenue from production via the local market, we'll keep being at the mercy of the international market. If you look at the Indian and the Bollywood industry or the Asian film industry, they do not depend on, in fact, whatever they make internationally is additional revenue. They make back everything within their market. So broadcasters need to change their perspective of how they see themselves in the industry to change makers. The growth of this industry, the expansion of this industry depends on broadcasters and how they value our content. So if you are giving us, if much of our revenue is coming from the local market, from broadcasters actually paying content creators or paying distributors for the content on their channel, then you decide the value. And then we have more negotiating power at the tables with these international platforms. They won't come and tell us, oh, this is how much we'll pay you guys, and this is how we'll pay you guys. When our local market is weak, we'll have to go with whatever they say. So if the local market is strengthened, and that is by broadcasters actually buying content, supporting the industry, helping us to grow, then we'll have more power when we are talking to international platforms. That's just a little I would like to share with broadcasters right here, and I hope it's something that will help us, going forward.
Can we please give her a hand of applause? Thank you so much, Eliora. Thank you. Sorry. I think there's a video. Just hold on, please. Do we have a video? Okay, so there's not video. Next. All right, play the next one, please. Thank you.
Why don't you try and be reasonable?
And now you're saying that I should relinquish the lead role to some backward native village tramp?
Our sister is in the forest. That's the priestess. Doctor, it's been ordained. Am I the one who ordained it?
You should be running from the freaky slavery you're signing up for.
And who are you? If I was born to serve my people, then that is what I will do!
And where do you think you're going, village tramp?
I want to be your friend.
In this village, it's tradition that girls make this for who they love.
Better.
We had a plan. You agreed, I agreed, and I'm here.
If you want to get laid, you know my rule.
I may be 40, but I'm nobody's fool.
I'm a gangster, a chocolo. I love women.
5 years, I gave every muscle to get this goal, and now they're bribing me to look the other way. Nancy, what is the name? Mark, Dr. Mark.
This weekend is about us.
Why not go back to the Meridian and find what you lost?
Sir, we just dropped her, sir, at Meridian Hotel, sir.
Who are you working with, or are you one of the bad guys?
When we get the girl, our fortunes will triple.
You use me, your son, as a pawn?
Do I look like a thief to you?
You're the one who wants to steal something that doesn't belong to you.
You like to all that romantic? I'm sorry, ma. I know that too. You know that I spoke to your friend.
It so happens that I need your help.
What's going on? Because I'm not the happiest man alive anymore.
You're starting all over.
I don't understand.
You play by my rules. I do not have sex with a total stranger.
I'm not a stranger. I am
Andre, DK, fine boy, plenty swagger.
Meaning what? I'm the GM of this hotel. Now you listen to me. If I as much as catch you with those slots, I'm so gonna kick your ass to the curb.
You're still stuck in lover boy mode. You're not husband material.
She said to me that I'm not the kind of man a woman will want to marry.
You have a wife?
Angela?
I can't believe it, Udwa. Congratulations.
Why don't you go after this lady, darling?
I left everything so that we can come here and sort things out together.
You call it selfish?
I'm the one waiting to be loved.
I got a friend. Wait.
The Civil War was gruesome. Children lost their lives to malnutrition. Men lost their names to war.
A man wants to marry my daughter,
He asked me to marry him and I said yes.
That is the problem.
My husband, you're a father again.
I will see him now.
See her. It's a girl.
You and your children will no longer visit my home.
I was left with 6 children to feed, clothe, and cater for. I can't believe you're here feasting. Why your wife is out there dying? Papa, you really have to go. You still want to be a doctor, don't you? I have to make that happen. Even if it takes the last drop of my blood, you will go to school. Dreams come true for those who wake up early to pursue theirs.
This one shall be called Starlight.
Hey, I'm an addict. Shoot me.
What the Lord has done.
No, I mean like the gifts, the candlelit dinner, the best lovemaking ever.
Besides, we need to do the right thing, which is seek God's face first.
Brenda! Why did you do it?
Do what?
Leave me.
My mind is made up.
You are my wife.
Moses, I'm wearing a seatbelt.
I own drugs and you belong to me.
I don't belong to you. What's wrong with you?
I give you a ride, and then you come home with me.
You haven't kissed me this good in a long time. This guy shows up and suddenly you're a good kisser.
Is it a crime for a girl to love her husband and hope for a miracle?
We will have to kill him.
Only joking. All right, it's your boy, and I'm live and direct on 95.1
She gave hers to someone else while she still had my ring. Am I the one going crazy here? Are you on my side? So can you work this out with me, please?
Hello. And you're? Champagne, his wife. Excuse me?
How many times has she been to the house already?
He's been cheating with random girls. And you're okay that he cheats?
You asked me to leave this woman. How are we supposed to feed?
There's something called work. That's what men do.
Don't do this, please, okay? Please.
Oh, no. Yes.
I'm here, sir, for the job I mentioned.
Douglas has money. Flirt with him, take his money, and we walk.
You're not going anywhere.
Will you marry me?
You and I were meant for each other, darling.
Please open the doors.
History goes all the way around and comes back to you straight in your face again, just like you've done. So in this case, you murdered me the second time.
Marisa! Today marks the first and formal commencement of Prince Dariman's marital rights to Princess Amma.
Thank you so much. I'm not sure the producers are around, so there's no one to say anything. Any more videos? Okay, I think this brings us to the end of today's activities, and I want to say thank you so much for your patience, your participation, and your listening ears. So, Sugar, I'm not gonna do this for this guy.
What am I doing? We're trying to close.
What's the? Are we trying to? He wants to make me a comedian. I am not a comedian. Definitely not. Far from
I
it.
don't want to make you a comedian.
So what? Can you just let me talk first? So let me just talk
then
and
I'll
sign
follow
out.
you and talk.
No, don't follow me and talk.
We're
Just-
supposed to sign out together. Ideally, when two people do it.
Are you being? Can you just talk without any ambiguity, please? Thank
No,
you.
like we're about to close.
All right, so
but
can
you
we
wanted
close?
to finish alone, and I'm like, you can't finish before me.
This is really.
So let's finish together. Right? Let's finish together.
So, guys.
Or you want to finish first? Okay, ideally, the woman should finish first.
Oh
Let's
my
finish first
goodness!
before-
I'm not in a good place right now because my mind is going haywire. So let me just do what I have to do.
That's on you.
So it's actually time for the cocktail. Another interesting part. Yesterday was fabulous.
Mhm.
Tell me you didn't miss it. A lot of you guys did actually. Why did you miss it, bruv? So you're getting the memo now. So this one is gonna be combined. It will be Food Bay and River Plus together.
What
There's
a
no
combo.
need to.
There's no need to what separate.
Oh my goodness.
What
Let's
a
just
combo, combination.
Yes, so it's gonna be more powerful.
You're making me
Like,
look bad. I be small pastor for my church. Oh. You're making me look bad in public. Oh. For my church, and they greet me, bless you, sir.
So I'm looking forward to the food one. So I'm a foodie. I love food.
Yeah.
Good food. So I'm looking forward to the food bay. Then the Rebel Plus one, that's the vibe.
Yeah.
So in Rebel and after Rebel, we just vibe. We're the party people.
Yeah.
So make sure you
eat,
don't miss it.
Feel your tummy.
Then you vibe.
Go vibe.
Exactly.
Drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That's
this
good.
is us again telling you thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, fingers crossed, for the final sign out.
Yeah, and I hear there are going to be movie screenings and all of that.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. But yeah.
We'll be fed
It's
with
really very
information.
nice. So, because last year I saw Sister, Sister movie. It was actually NIFS last year was when I saw Sister.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Before
so when
it
you
went-
before yes, before it even
nice,
came out, yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
Sister, the movie. Sister. the
Sister.
movie. I was calling it Sister. They said not Sister, it's Sister. So yeah, I saw it last. So the
Sister
screenings
me.
are also very nice as well. Yeah. It's not sister. It's sister.
The
Yes.
star?
Yeah.
The A must be spread as a star. That's right. I'm a linguist. Eh? I'm going like this.
He reached.
You have a problem going like this?
He reached to worry.
Oh, and I put this sister. Do you prefer it that way?
Do I speak pidgin? Excuse. I'm Nigerian, bruv. I speak before uncle. I don't understand. No, but this summit is not for pidgin speaking. It's for
Yeah.
English.
It's where we
Yeah,
speak.
we don't even do indigenous because I wanted to speak Igbo.
Why is it so?
No, that's how we allowed it. So we know they speak pidgin. Not everybody here understands pidgin. Make every oh my god.
It doesn't know
Okay,
streets
what we do is once in a while we chip in the pidgin, yes. And if you want us to go indigenous, we do that. We speak Igbo. No,
if you want to go indigenous, we will go indigenous.
We go indigenous
so
now,
this guy got A1 in Igbo, in
language.
got A1 in Agric, A1 in biology.
I'm serious.
For native medicine. So
I got A1 in Igbo language. I'm no jokes. I'm serious. My English is actually A3.
you don't go again. You go miss cocktail. You
No.
don't go again.
So don't miss the cocktail, guys. So I'm hoping to see you there. So it's on now. So from here, you just walk down.
Do we need
hotel
any access or anything?
I think you need to have your tag. Your tag lets you
Yeah, your
in.
tag, your tickets, stuff. Yeah.
No, your
sorry.
thingy.
This necklace one I wear so
That
now.
necklace, yeah. Please, your
Yeah.
tag, yeah, lets you in. So thank you.
Thank you so much. This has
See
been
you
the
tomorrow.
very fabulous, beautiful Chi Wen.
Yes, thank you.
Because that's your son name.
Chukudire.
Chukudire. Yeah. And my name
God
is
is able.
Dan, and yeah. Let's go.
So
Rob.
here we'll sign out.